And welcome to Level Up Real Talk that takes you higher. I am your host, Angee from the B. Welcome, 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 everyone. And thank you guys for hanging out with us this beautiful Sunday afternoon. Actually, it's a special Sunday afternoon. Now, let me say you guys something. You guys see this handsome man with the earphones on his ear? You know, he's kind of a little... He a little salty right now because he got some stuff on the grill that he can't get to right now because he got to go to work. Hey, Mr. Scribe, how you doing?
I am blessed and doing well and really happy to be here because of the guest that we have the show on today. I put my special shirt on
Look at
for
him.
the show, Black Excellence, and looking forward to doing the show. This is my second show back.
Yeah.
So just getting back into the mix of things again. But I miss all you guys out there that's said some prayers for me and was asking how I was doing because Angie let me know that you guys had asked about me, and I do truly appreciate it and looking forward to a really good show today.
Absolutely. Well, look, yes, we do have an exciting show today because I begged about 6 or 7 people, including Mr. Scribe, because we do know. Happy Father's Day, Mr. Scribe.
Appreciate it. I got my phone calls from my children and text messages and other friends and stuff. And let me just say that I'm very grateful to be here this Father's Day because there was a time that it was when I was sick, Angie, it was a serious, serious thing. So trust me, I do not take this time for granted. Every moment is important. If your father's here, reach out to him, tell him how much you care about him and how much you love him if your father is here today, because it's really, really important. Because there's a lot of brothers out there, a lot of people out there today whose fathers are no longer here.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's so true, Mr. Scribe, and thank you for saying that. For those of you who may not have your father here on this earth, do know, as you know, I'm talking to my brothers and sisters in Christ. Very, very soon you will see them again. So just want to give a shout out to once again all of the fathers. Not only that, Mr. Scribe, this is a special weekend.
Yeah, it's a special weekend because you got me working on Father's Day. So that it's got to be a special weekend if we working on Father's Day.
But look, more than that, Mr. Scribe, we are a part of history right now, and
Oh,
and the history was it Friday? I think Friday was the actual.
the
Uh,
19th. The 19th was the actual was
19
the
was yesterday, but Friday was the actual holiday that people were able to be off work for the first annual celebration of Juneteenth. I got congratulations to.
I have to say that has been a long time coming. I'm not going to get political with it, but every time you have something going on, you got two different sides. One side, long time coming. Another side is this can't be the only thing. It can't just be the
Oh,
symbolic of making it a federal holiday and acknowledging it. It's got to go beyond that, and that's why I'm at with it. It just can't be just the celebration. It's got to go past that.
well, look, and I'm right there with you. And of course, we're not a political show, but we do, speak the truth. Real talk that takes you higher. We do speak the truth, and touch on the things that a big elephant in the room. This has been a long time coming, and I just we're going to celebrate now. But Mr. Scribe, you're absolutely right. We can't just make this just about a federal holiday. This is the day that you take off. No, this is the day that you take off to reflect and make plans on what you're going to be doing moving forward. All right, the nation is trying to make a change, and hey, listen, we no longer, especially as brothers and sisters in Christ, we cannot stick our hand in the sand and act like that nothing is going on. We do have to stand up and say something when it's against humanity, when humanity has been compromised. Come on, brothers and sisters in Christ, we can no longer just sit on the sideline and not do anything, say anything. The most that we should be doing is guiding and staying on our knees and praying for. Go ahead, Mr. Trump.
And no, no, no. And we're supposed to be about the truth. As believers, we speak the truth and we know what history is about. We know the truth about history and we know what history has been put forth only a portion of history, as we all know, has been put forth. There's another side
Yeah.
of history. And like you just said, Angee, we as believers, we cannot be silent. If we know what the truth is, we need to be speaking that truth.
Yeah. If we, and especially if we know the good that we ought to do, then hey, it does say in the word, we sin. So let's just put that out there and help our brothers and sisters in Christ. No longer should we sit on the sidelines. Back in the 60s, there was a groundswell of Christian men and women that were behind the civil rights. So come on, Generation X, it is our time. The boomers did what they had done in the 60s. Now we're in, the 21st century. And it's time for us to stand up and speak out with truth and love. Truth and love. With all that said, Mr. Scribe, I know you are ready to set the tone for this show.
And I am ready this week because I got some preliminary stuff done. So I'm ready. I'm going to read from Proverbs. And it's the 23rd chapter, and it's just the 22nd verse. And it reads, "Listen to your father who gave you life, and do not despise your mother when she is old." So it's about the fathers and the mothers as well.
And thank you so much, Mr. Scribe. Thank you for setting the tone, because that's what we are all about, ladies and gentlemen. We are all about, yes, real talk that takes you higher, but we will always set the tone and ushering in our Father in heaven as we have this conversation with no other than Alvin Garrett. Now, we only have Alvin Garrett, Mr. Scribe, for about an hour and a half because, hey, it is Father's Day. He is there with his mom and dad, so
Yeah, you see where I'm at. I'm on the beach. I'm trying to lay out in the sand and dip my toe in the water and all that, but I got my headphones on because I'm doing Level Up. So that's what it is.
Well, when we come back on the other side of the break, there he is. Mr. Alvin Garrett is in the studio by way of Blue Jeans because we will continue to be COVID compliant. Now, Mr. Garrett, we're about to go to break, but I at least want you to say something to our viewing and listening audience. If you can, sir, please.
What's up? I'm ready to level up on Father's Day. I'm so excited to be here with you all. Just can't wait. It's going to be fun.
It's going to be fun. Oh, my gosh. And I think you said you have the Big G somewhere.
Oh, yeah. Look at that. Oh, AG number one in the building.
What? Wait a minute, Garrett. I mean, Alvin, are you saying that Level Up has the privilege of talking? Now, this, it's not an interview, Alvin. Now, I hope you told your dad, we don't do interviews. Dad, we're gonna have a conversation. We're just having a conversation, Dad.
That's Pastor. That's Pastor. AG number one. That's all he know how to do.
Exclusively on Level Up. Okay, hey. Alvin, you have given Level Up a treat on Father's Day.
Yes.
That's what's up. Well, hey, listen, you guys, we do have to take our break. On our break, you guys can head on over to The Real Level Up. That's The Real Level Up on YouTube. So head on over to YouTube as well. If you guys are watching us on Facebook, tell your family and friends. Of course, I'm going to ask again, hit that share button. Please hit that share button, you guys. As you guys can see, we have a treat for you this afternoon here on Father's Day. We only have the Garretts with an S. We only have the Garretts for 1.5 hours. So listen, hit that share button right now. Tell your family and friends to come on over because we're going to have a great time just speaking on fatherhood. You're listening and watching Level Up, real talk that takes you higher. I am your host, Angee from The Bee. We'll be right back.
Unveiled Treasures Bookstore. We offer a variety of items: church supplies, homeschool resources, music, books, and gifts. Our free ministry partners online affiliate program provides a collection of Christian resources. Unveiled Treasures. Exquisite jewels to enrich your soul.
Became severely anemic as a result of my fibroids. My energy level was just very low, just always very fatigued, very low sex drive. I think my only regret about my fibroid situation is that I didn't do it sooner. I feel amazing now. I feel great. Women, listen to me. You deserve to be happy and healthy again. No one has time for fibroids. Please look into UFE, contact Dr. Lipman, and get your happy back, get your life back, get your sex back. You know, be the woman that you were before fibroids.
Have you ever felt like no matter how hard you tried, things just still go wrong?
Many times.
What do?
I let go and let God.
All I'm asking from you is to bump up our credit limit to where it was.
It's declined.
We're experiencing some financial hardships at the moment.
You have 6 days to make payment.
I can't believe this is happening.
You know, I never asked you to pray with me.
It's you and me. We got this.
God wants to help you, Peter.
Excuse me?
But you're not letting him in.
I did once. Last time we spoke, you took a man away from me I loved dearly. From that day, I swore to take matters into my own hands. But now I don't know what to do.
I know that you don't believe, but I will pray for you.
I love you so much.
Copy mo.
It was a miracle. You believe in miracles?
Listen, if you need me, you call me.
All of the angels in heaven are rejoicing. You gotta know that everything is gonna be okay.
Have you been sluggish, bloated, overweight? You could be toxic from your environment, food, and medications. It's time for a clean start. Come by or book online today.
Hey, this is Constance. Level Up. Check them out every Sunday from 3 to 6 p.m.
Hey guys, it's your girl V Speak Life, reminding you to speak life, not strife. Right now, I want you to get inspired with Level Up, real talk that takes you higher. Sundays from 3 to 6 p.m.
It's Robert.
And Rebecca.
We're the Quaddle Bombs. Time to level up every Sunday from 3 to 6 p.m.
Hi, this is Terry Cummings, 18-year veteran of the NBA. Keep it locked right here as we level up, giving a voice to the unvoiced with real talk that takes you higher.
And welcome back to Level Up, real talk that takes you higher. I am your host, Angee from the B. Welcome back, everyone. And thank you guys for hanging out with us this beautiful Sunday, Father's Day afternoon. Just want to give a shout out to all of my fathers. Happy Father's Day. Thank you for the fathers that are working on the show right now. Thank you, Mr. Scribe. Also in the studio, who we have Alvin Garrett, and not only that, he said we have Big Al in his studio as well. But by way of COVID, we're trying to be COVID compliant by way of Blue Jeans, you guys. He is broadcasting live from undisclosed location, unless he wants to give it. You know, if he wants to give it, he'll give it. But we are all in our cozy homes doing this show, being COVID compliant. All right, listen, we still are in a pandemic, you guys, and I am very, very, very thankful that we here at Level Up have been able to pivot so that we can have our guest, Alvin Garrett, wherever he is. Alvin, you know, we tracked you down. We're like, Alvin, we want you on the show now. Wherever you are, get on the show.
I am here. And we are leveling up today on Father's Day.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, listen, let's get right into it. Mr. Scribe, you know how I am. Get right into it as far as our conversation, because as you guys know, we're not interviewing Alvin. I asked Alvin to be on the show so we can talk about fatherhood. Yes. Now, we know that he is an amazing singer-songwriter. We got a little treat about that, too, but Alvin, when I was thinking about this show and you said yes to this show, I was surprised you did. I'm like, you know what? People need to know how awesome Alvin is as a father. Now, if some of your people, some of your fans, some of now our, people that follow us, I hate to call them fans because they're just family members. The family members of Level Up, I want them to see, Alvin, how you are as a father. Because you have 2 girls, is that right?
I do have 2 girls. And they're in the background. They're eating. I'm down here in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, at my parents' home. I brought my girls with me. So eventually they'll peek their head in and speak to everybody. You get to see them. But yes, fatherhood it's been the greatest role and the greatest responsibility of life, and I'm blessed to have a wonderful father in my life who showed me and modeled what fatherhood is all about. So I'm able to do that every single day and have purpose for everything else I do. The music, the hard work, the dedication, everything I do. I have 2 little girls to think about to give me that purpose and that drive that I need to push through those hard times.
Boy, it's funny you said that, Alvin, because the first time you were on the show, we touched on fatherhood. It was so natural, Alvin, because that's exactly what you said. You just kind of repeated. If you guys missed the first time that Alvin was on this show, we kind of did the same thing. We talked about your project. We talked about the things you do. But when we got on, the subject about your girls, man, you just lit up. You look at them now. They got you wrapped around.
They do. Well, before, see, I'm going to show you why. Come here, Greer, real quick. I'm going to introduce you to Greer. We move forward, and Grace. Yep. Introduce you to the girls. Come on, say hello. She's eating some of Mama's good cooking. Say hi. Say hi. This is Greer.
Hi, Greer. You want to say hello to the people?
Hello.
Well, we asked you
to come on the show. She's going to ever be. So this.
Greer, we asked you to come on the show because we wanted to get to know the person who just you see that big Kool-Aid smile on your dad's face? I said Kool-Aid smile on your dad's.
She acting all shy. She only gets shy in front of the camera, but when it goes off, she's wide open. Sing, slang, all of that kind of stuff. She's not ready for the camera yet, but one day she may be. Or maybe she'll be the writer and the producer. You never know.
Hey, you know what? Listen, Greer, there is so many jobs behind the camera. So if you tell Dad, I'm just going to be behind the camera and we're going to be okay. He's going to be okay with it. I promise.
That's right. Love you.
Oh, cute. Okay, where's the other one?
Grace, come speak. Grace is my oldest. She's 11.
She's 11. Oh.
11, big girl, big girl.
Hi, Grace.
Ooh, look at
that. Hey, see right here, I done lost all that, Grace. I had it back in the day, but them days is over.
Now, Grace does not mind being in front of the camera. She just did a play. She was just in Annie here recently.
Oh, yeah.
She said,
Grace, you want to tell us about it?
It was really fun. I liked doing that.
You did. So you can see yourself doing this forever and ever and ever, just like your dad, right? Well, listen, you have an amazing dad, and thank you. Well, from us here at Level Up, we want to thank you that you allowed us to borrow your dad for about an hour and a. We're going to give him back in about an hour and a half because I know you're ready to like celebrate Father's Day with just him and him alone. Like, Dad, enough with all the other people. It's just me and you.
Oh yeah. I have a song called "It's You That Makes You You" on 2 projects ago called "This Hill," and actually it was inspired by a situation where Grace wanted to get her hair straightened, and she did, but then that cold water hit it, and you know how it shrivels up, and she was crying, and I told her, I said, God didn't make you with straight hair; He gave you beautiful curly hair, and so here it is now. Years later, she's rocking her fro, and she's like, "I'm natural." So that's just power of fatherhood speaking into a young lady's life who, may have been seeing images of other people with straight hair, but being able to tell her who God made her to be and to see how she loves herself and her hair now is just a testament to fatherhood and what it's really all about.
That's what it. I mean, Grace, you are rocking that fro. Literally, you see mine. Yours is bigger than mine. But it's all good because yours is big and beautiful, and you and your sister are beautiful. I want you to know that. You're welcome, sweetheart. You got something to say, Mr. Scribe?
No, just about my firstborn is a girl as well, even though she's 30-something now, but she'll always be my baby girl. And it's just something special that a father can infuse to his daughter. I know sons as well, but there's just that special bond that daughters and fathers have and the influence, because when they look at what does a man look like, or what do I want the person that I'm interested in to be like? If they can simply look at their dad, that's the standard that they'll set. And once that standard is set, that bar normally is not moved.
Right. That's right, and that's what you want, just to, show them, what love really looks and feels like, and and that's a part of what I do in fatherhood. I talk to my girls, you know what I mean, and we communicate all the affection that they ever need. They'll get from me, you know what I mean. That they'll know what safe affection and love feels and looks like because they get it from me. You know what I mean? And they ask for it. Hey, when's cuddle time? We haven't snuggled in a while, Are you hanging with us tonight? They argue with mommy a little bit, they got a little thing going. But it's like, hey, what about us?
But it's important. That's important because when you take that out of the equation and you have boys or girls and there's an absent father, we see the results in our society of when there's not a father present. That's a whole nother show. But in this particular case, you're active, you're involved, and you basically engage. It's like, look, I'm being that dad. I'm in this. I'm going to take this seriously because I know how important this is.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, hey, let me just kind of chime in on what you guys are saying. Being a female that has an awesome dad, Marvin Smiley has, he has been in my life. He's my stepdad, but I don't even like saying stepdad, but he came in at the right time of my life. That you guys are right. I mean, if it hadn't been for him to step in to show me what a real man is and how a man should love a woman and how, a man takes care of a woman and it's not anything weird or crazy or, the kind of things that you do see on TV that a lot of the, women and, boys and girls kind of act out. That's not real stuff. I mean, the real stuff comes what is going on in the home, what is really happening here. And I, like I said, Alvin, it was no mistake that I asked you to be on this show because I did, although we are doing what we're doing outside of the home and even in entertainment, you still have that heart for home is what I saw. That heart for home and the love that you have for your wife first, that trickles down into your daughters. And that's what all of our kids need to see once they see, a really true loving relationship between a man and a woman, a husband and a wife, it trickles down. So, thank you for saying that, Alvin, that they have their time with their mom, but then they know that they can also have time with dad.
Right, that's right. And there's nothing like a good example, you know what I mean? And I always, tell the Garretts, even as you speak about what we do in entertainment, we've heard all kinds of tragedies and tragic stories. And some people even say if you want to be in this business, don't get a family. You know what I mean? Because of how demanding it is. But I made a promise, to mom first, say, as long as you're Garrett, you got 5 promises. One is roof over your head, clothes on your back, food on the table, car to drive, and health insurance, right? These, like no matter what I do, no matter what I pursue, these are the non-negotiables. You know what I mean? That's always been my foundation from the beginning, and that's kept me grounded. Certainly as a provider and as a father, and certainly in this business, which is a very volatile business of entertainment and music and songwriting. But I've always made my decisions based on fulfilling those promises, and that's what's kept me in it, as long as I've been here.
And that's what I wanted to ask you, Al. When, you had those 5 things obviously in place from way back when, how did the pandemic, when that happened, because you're an entertainer, I know you write and do those things, but you also perform and you do different gigs at different venues. When COVID hit and that kind of went away, I know a lot of people got closer to their families because you home and you're home all the time. How did you negotiate that as far as what you was doing is what you do, and then with your family as well? I just want to know that. I know the balance came where you had to be at home, but how did you work through that?
Man, my situation was actually, I guess, unique from what I've heard everybody else saying about their experience. I mean, it was actually, let me preface this by first of all saying my condolences to everybody who's lost someone, who went through a tough, hurtful experience, which is a lot of people. And I'm probably one of the few people who can say that nobody in my immediate family was hurt, harmed, passed away from this. So I'm just ultimately grateful. So I like to preface that before I talk about any positive experiences through I want to make sure I do that out of humility. But for me, I needed that break, just after 20 years of just going. You don't realize you hadn't stopped until you stop, and so just everything coming to a halt was a needed break for me, first of all, to refresh, something I've never done. I'm just always going. And so to change perspective, but also to spend that time just relaxing and with family. And it also opened me up to a different perspective of my own voice in terms of my writing and my music. Because at that point, I was only writing for myself. I was only singing for myself. I wasn't singing trying to sound commercial, trying to see what will fit for radio. I just didn't care. It's just, this is what's in my heart. This is what I want to sing. And when I got into that space was when it really got good for me, and I put out some of my best music last year. Put out an album called The Awakening. And then right at the end of the year, finished this album, The Lightness of Love, which I released in February. And it's been some beautiful music, but I heard my voice differently. I heard my story differently. And that came from being able to spend time with my girls and experience the lightness of that love, that feeling of making music that I wanted them to hear and us just dancing around the house. So it was the experience of family that put me in the space I needed to be in to make this beautiful album that I'm promoting now.
Wow, Alvin. Woo! I'm hoping that some of the artists that normally, follows the show heard that, and, if they didn't hear it now, they're hearing it in the recordings. But that's powerful, man, because it sounds like to me you got your voice back. It's, and I, being married to a musician myself, I know what that's like. You want to sound commercial because they always trying to tell you got to sound that way in order to sell records. But oh my gosh, you're torn between, wanting to sound that way to sell so that you can keep doing this thing. But then, not everybody experience hardship during this time of COVID. You're one of the, and I can't even say few. I've met so many people, and thank God for Level Up. Through us, sitting down having conversations with so many people around the country, a lot of people are starting to come out. They were scared at first, Alvin. They were scared to say, COVID didn't do all that to me. I actually got better.
Yeah. Well, I think that comes from the sensitivity. Like I said, you can't take for granted that a lot of people didn't have good experiences. Honestly, it probably was my best year ever. You know what I'm saying? As an adult, in terms of the different things I discovered, found a place called the Dannon Project that I had been working with, social services agency that I've been working with in the past. But during the pandemic, my role just grew in terms of my songwriting program, my role as a consultant with the executive department, and just actually got back into where I started, corporate America. All of my skills, although they were on pause in the music industry, they were much needed in a different industry. And so being able to pivot, being prepared, and I think that's one of the key things with COVID is it showed you right away how prepared you had been prior to. It's like when they say, keep your lamps trimmed and burning, because when the bridegroom shows up, it's not time to go buy and sell oil. You got to have that oil already. And so a lot of people had no oil when it was time to burn, when it was time to shine. They had no oil, and they rushing trying to figure out how to fill their lamps up. And I had a big, I had a big closet full of canisters of oil.
But that's the key. The key is being prepared. And I think that as you preference Al by saying the amount of lives that got lost, we know that part of that is be prepared. The signs are there. And we as believers, when certain things happen, we have to take it in a certain way. And to have everything pushed back, and time for introspection, time for looking at inside of you. Okay, what's my purpose? Where am I going? What am I doing? Because the whole world, this is a global thing. This is not just local. This is worldwide. We're working differently. We're interacting differently. And we can see the conflict that comes up. Wearing a mask, not wearing a mask. Do I travel? All those things. I understand.
We gotta take a break. So, hey, you guys, stick a pin in that one, Nolan. Come right back to it. When we come back on our other side of the break, you guys, you're listening and watching Level Up, Real Talk to Take You Higher. I am your host, Angee from the B. We'll be right back.
Yeah, Mike Jeezy. This one's for you, Father. For sure. Cause despite the women, money, cars, and clothes, at the end of the day, tell them I choose you. Yeah, that's right. That's right. I put that on my mama, homes. Yeah, that's right. Say, I choose you. Come on. Say, I choose you. Go ahead and give us on right quick. Yeah, let's get it. Mike Jeezy on the scenery, beating my speakers, they yelling out, why you mistreating me? I'm never leaving thee, I'm never leaving G.O.D. Got a problem with it, throw them deuces, peace. Cause I ain't gotta know you, I know the Holy Spirit. If you ain't got it, then get like shouty and get it. Some people that try to tell you prosperity is a joke. That's cause they reaping the very same drama that they sold. Take a second to read your Bible, shout it, then you know. Shout out to Obama, but this year Jesus got my vote. He wins it every time, there ain't no need to lie. Drunk off the spirit, communion, sipping that holy wine. Saved me too many times, why would I turn around? I wanna see all you have to offer, father to child. Yeah, I lost 2 daddies in my lifetime, but the third time's a charm, and I know you'll do me right. That's why I choose you. Yeah, come on. That's why I choose you. Now say you chose me, so I choose you. Yeah, 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 come on. I feel like I'm at the top of my game, on a mountain that I can move at the sound of his name. A mustard seed of faith is all it takes to break down barriers. Spiritual post office, holy mail carrier. Nothing's more scarier thinking I can't have you. That's why I got to grab you. My life to use a passion. Pedal to the metal for the Lord like I was dragging. His love for me is always free for that, never taxing. Bagging as much as the spirit is I can handle. And now I can say you are the flame to my candle. I wanna be the most God-fearing two-legged mammal. The way of the world has 1,000,000,001 scandals, but they call it righteousness opens to one channel. The way is very narrow, that's why many don't travel. So with my talents, I'ma do what it do. And every time I spit a verse, gotta give it to you. I choose you. Yeah, that's right. Say, I choose you. One more time, homie. Everybody say, you chose me, so I choose you. Yeah, you chose me.
Hey there, girl. I hope you don't mind me saying this, but you have a beautiful smile. Can we chat for a second?
What's your name? What's your sign? What you doing later on? What you doing later on? Yeah. It's okay if you're shy. Am I coming on a little too strong? Ooh. All my friends call me Al, and I like to have fun. Yes, I do. But I'm all grown up, and we can have a deep conversation. You wanna hesitate? Oh yeah. Is it getting kinda late? For me to take you on a date? Oh girl, it's only 5 o'clock in the evening. The look on your face, oh yeah, it's like you're having a debate. It's like you really wanna stay. But you think you should be leaving, so I ask, where you gotta go? What you need to know? Maybe you should hang with me. Maybe you should hang with me for a while. Where you gotta go? Please don't tell me no. Come on. Maybe you should hang with me, girl. Maybe you should hang with me for a while. I'm a chill kind of guy. We ain't gotta have a drink. We ain't gotta have a drink. No. See, I was born with this smile, and I don't mind saying what I think. I believe in respect. Yes, I do. I won't be leaving the check. Not with you. See, I don't mind where we're down if I get a little time in exchange. But you wanna hesitate? Oh yeah. Is it getting kinda late? For me to take you on a date? Oh girl, it's only 5 o'clock in the evening. The look on your face, it's like you're having a debate. You really wanna stay? Please stay. But you're thinking you should be leaving, so I ask, where you gotta go? What you need to know? Maybe you should hang with me. Maybe you should hang with me for a while. Where you gotta go? Please don't tell me no. Come on. Maybe you should hang with me. Maybe you should hang with me for a while. Don't let this moment pass us by, 'cause we may never get this chance again. Don't waste this moment asking why. Maybe you should give us a try tonight. Where you gotta go, girl? Where you gotta go? What you need to know, girl? Come on. Maybe you should hang. Maybe you should hang. Maybe you should hang with me for a while. Where you gotta go? Please don't tell me no. Please don't tell me no. See, all you gotta do is come on. Maybe you should hang. Maybe you should hang. Maybe you should hang with me for a while. Tell me where you gotta go. Where you gotta go? What you need to know? I'm thinking maybe a while.
Hi, this is Terry Cummings, formerly of the NBA, retired after 18 years, 18 seasons in the league. Just been chilling, working hard, though I think you work harder when you retire, but nevertheless running companies, pastoring 14 years, CEO over a hybrid of a television station of cable and streaming, and finally pushing toward the bid for the Hall of Fame. Level up and join us.
Kim Ikemia Arrington is a career empowerment speaker, business strategist to career professionals and employed entrepreneurs who are building their businesses while working demanding full-time job, as well as a visionary event producer. She is on a mission to help the massive take career control by positioning them to transition into careers, businesses, and life they love on their terms. Kim certainly affirms that you can love your Mondays by doing only the work you desire and enjoy. Who says you can't love your Mondays? Kim affirms that you most certainly can.
I knew something was wrong with my body.
Hi, my name is Kelly Bryant, and I am the face of a type 2 diabetic. I am also the author of a book series called Numbers that is available on Amazon. The series is about how I used a low-carb diet lifestyle change to get my numbers in non-diabetic range. I am living proof that it is possible to go from a 16.6 A1C to a 5.2. So let's kick type 2 diabetes one number at a time.
You have these issues of pain, you have these issues of heavy blood flow. It's almost like you are a prisoner. You know, I felt like a prisoner. The calendar was a very big deal to me because I would plan my life around my period. UFE is a great procedure. It's an awesome procedure. So when I heard about it and I was a candidate, I was doing a happy dance because I was like, now I'm going to be able to live and be free.
Hey, this is Nolan Holloway, a.k.a. Mr. Scribe. Just letting you know that I have 3 books of poetry that's available on Amazon.com. So when you get a chance, go to Amazon.com, look up Nolan P. Holloway Jr., not Mr. Scribe, and pick up one of my books for your enjoyment. Peace.
You are listening to Level Up with Bob Barrett-Wall from Enter the Diamond.
Hey, this is Rodney Damon Collins, inviting you to Level Up. Check them out every Sunday from 3 to 6 p.m. Eastern.
Hey, this is Shay Bynes with Kingdom Driven Entrepreneur. Let's level up. Tune in every Sunday from 3 to 6 p.m.
Hi, this is Pat Nash, your dream coach. Want to take your dreams to the next level? Then listen to Level Up each and every Sunday from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. I am.
Hey, this is Dr. Crystal of Kaleidoscope Counseling Center. Keep it locked right here as we level up, giving a voice to the unvoiced with real talk that takes you higher. Ordinary people with extraordinary stories.
And welcome back to Level Up, real talk that takes you higher. I am your host, Angee from the B. Welcome back, everyone. And thank you guys for hanging out with us this beautiful Sunday afternoon, Father's Day. Just want to once again give a shout out to all of our fathers out there. Thank you guys. If you are tuning in right now, thank you for tuning in and hanging out with us. Not only that, I also want to give the nation a congratulations for our first annual Juneteenth celebration holiday for this wondrous occasion. And so, you know what, Alvin? I just want to touch on that before we get into anything else. What was what was your feeling when you heard the news that we finally have that as a holiday? But of course, yeah, we want to go a little bit further than just a holiday.
Yeah, well, it's recognition is the first step, and not so much for people who aren't moved by it. It's for the people who need to know their own journey so that they can start with a marker, right, of freedom. But freedom is a mindset, and that's to me where the emancipation process begins. Is here, because a lot of us get enslaved to so many things that you don't get holidays for, right? Enslaved to debt, enslaved to so many things that keep us from being free. An inferior mindset sets in that maybe this holiday will make us look at who we really are and reflect on who we are and how we should be, and hopefully start freeing ourselves even before you reach across the aisle and ask for any type of equality or justice. You must first be free within yourself. That was, to me, that was a great holiday to just reflect on how far we've come, but look at how far we can go on our own, to me, because a lot of people didn't just accept freedom on that day. A lot of people have been enslaved for so long that, yes, it's like, well, you might remove the shackles, but I'm still shackled here. So I think a lot of our people need to start there and say, how can I free my mind? How can I be free in my heart so that I can move forward, as opposed to being where we are and constantly ensnared by the past.
Yeah, yeah. And I remember, when you were on the show before, you didn't let any of that hold you back, with this inequality. I remember you talked about that, growing up in Tuscaloosa. Hey, that's, I'm from Birmingham, you guys. That's what the B stands for. So, we were in a place in time where it wasn't so great. But I can't say, Alvin, growing in Birmingham at the time that I grew up, which was the late 70s and into the 80s, that it was horrible. The only thing that I felt, though, Alvin, was that I knew that I needed to go somewhere else to grow a little bit more than where I was. Mm. And that's not to slight on anything, or anyone that is there in Birmingham. It's just for me. I'm going to say for me. And I saw Atlanta as being more of a metropolis, more of a mixture of different people from other areas of the country. And that's what I wanted to experience, Alvin, was, I wouldn't meet Mr. Scribe from the Bronx. And that's not to say that that's what's going on now, because Alvin, I do see a little bit more movement that's happening in Alabama. And that's a testament to, all you guys who were there, who remained there, and just said, hey, you know what? We're not going to stay stagnant here. We're going to continue to, help this area, this land called Alabama, to grow in the way that the other countries are growing.
Well, like
we can't hear you.
He forgot to unmute himself.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, being from a big city is different, because I know my mother's from a small town. My dad was from Jacksonville, and then growing up in the city, like Angee said, I didn't really see it. I grew up in the 70s as a teenager. I didn't really see it from being from a big city. But when I went to visit in the South, I could kind of see, things are a little bit different down here than it is where I was from.
Yeah, and I'll say this, with it being Father's Day, one of the reasons why I had the faith and confidence to stay, born and raised in Tuscaloosa, but went just slightly up the road to Birmingham. And one of the things I was taught growing up is you're a leader, right? And leaders lead from the front. And so I always had this sort of thing in my mind that I didn't want to eat off somebody else's pie. I wanted to bake my own. You know what I'm saying? And I would
Wow.
always look at places like Atlanta as, well, you remember when, they were knocking y'all from Hollywood and at New York, like Atlanta. But you had some visionaries and some pioneers who said, no, we're going to change things. So I'm one of those people that says, because I'm staying, things will change. You know what I mean? But that came from, this gentleman here,
Come on. Come on.
Pops,
Bring them on.
AG number one, telling me who I am and whose I am, and modeling that, teaching me all about faith and that, who, how not to ever look at another person as if they're greater than you. You respect their position, but you are as much a man, much a human as anybody from anywhere. So I've never looked at the fact that I'm from Alabama as some type of deficit. I see it as a blessing because I got soul that other people can't have. I got history that other people don't have because I'm Alvin Garrett number 2.
Bring down the part. Dad, come on, you got to say something to us, impart some wisdom. This is Father's Day. Thank you, first of all, for agreeing to be on. We feel special because I feel like we got the exclusive. Well, impart some wisdom, Dad, because you are you grew up in Tuscaloosa, right?
Yes, I was raised further down south, down in Greensboro, Alabama. Raised that, and I was basically raised on plantations. So, in some sense, when I finished high school back in '71, I moved to Tuscaloosa. So I've been here since '71. And when I moved here, I didn't actually have anybody to depend on, coming from down in the country. So it made me, take care of myself. And that's why I got a job at the coal mine. And when I was working at the coal mine, at this particular time, only 5 of us, when us was there.
Yeah.
So I come up, through a hardship in that, but I was there for 34 years. And, I got well known through, being humble and having faith and not looking at where I came from, but where I was going,
Oh man, I mean, thank
this
you.
young man
Dad.
right
I mean,
here.
Go ahead, say it again.
No, I was just saying this young man right here. I have 4 children, but all of them, are special. And I always knew there was something special about him, but I knew more. There was something special. One morning, I was laying in bed and I was meditating on the preaching that I was going to be doing, and the Lord spoke to my heart and showed me a vision how He was going to use him. And it was not going to be behind a pulpit like the way I was standing preaching, but how He was going to be ministering to so many people. And I remember, and the Lord showed me how many people He's going to be ministering to. And I remember telling Him, I said, I'm a little jealous, but I knew He was going a lot further than where I had gone, So I'm very proud of Him. He really made me a proud father, in watching Him, and I really support him in whatever he's doing because God showed me what He was going to be doing before He knew what He was going to be doing.
Don't
That's
they show?
amazing.
Yeah, go ahead, Mr. Scribe. I'm sorry.
I was just saying that's amazing. And the thing about it is, you, Senior G, being able to have God give you that vision for your son, and you feeling like, wow, instead of looking at it as a detriment, it's like, God, thank you for giving me, because that guided you to how you would guide your son. Once God gave you that, okay, I know I got to speak to him in a certain way and guide him in a certain way because God has put that responsibility on me when it came to this son. So that's extremely, extremely important. When the voice of God comes to you and shows you something, you got to be obedient. Had you been jealous or had you been, well, I don't like the message that you just gave me, God, it could have been a whole different turnout.
Right. I like I said, in that it came from God, then, it helped me to also learn to not be biased in any kind of way toward him, because he's my son, but respect him for what God had put within him. So he'll tell you sometimes I let him know I be thinking I'm around a celebrity or something because, he's much further advanced than I am. But like I said, I support him. And
that's my best friend. I just keep it real. He's my best friend, pastor, my everything. You know what I mean? Because we talk. You know what I mean? He really talked to me. And he's a big muscular guy, bodybuilder, coal miner, but he was gentle and graceful. You know what I'm saying? Even when he disciplined me, because I was cut up.
Yep.
I cut up.
I can see that though, Alvin. I can kind of see that.
But the beautiful thing is he would always sit me down before and after. Before he would explain why he was going to discipline me and it was going to hurt. He said, it's going to hurt me more than it's going to hurt you. He said, but if I don't do this, then you'll go out there and you'll get in trouble or you won't be able to come back. You see what I mean? And so he explained it. And then after it was over, he would sit and hold me and hug me or whatever. And then later on in life, he said he would cry when I leave the room because of how bad it hurt him to discipline me in that way. But if it wasn't for him disciplining me and explaining why, because I love you, I'm going to discipline you. Because I see something in you, I'm going to lay this on you. And so there was never any fear of my dad. It was an embracing because I wanted that smile and not that frown, because that frown told me I let him down. And so as I'm, at 43 years old, I realized that his pride was my currency. Like just playing football, going, being in class, getting straight A's. If I could get a smile on his face, then I was good. You know what I'm saying? And even now as a father, raising my own kids, having a house, paying all of the things he raised me to do. And he says, I'm proud of you, son. That juices me up to keep going forward. So a father's pride is a son's currency, is a son's fuel for life.
Amazing how you illustrated that, Alvin, because that's how God is with us.
Yeah,
God is going to chastise us. He's going to punish us when we not. But the thing about it is, when we please him, look how he blesses us. So that was a beautiful, just with you, with your dad. And you later on in life, you look back and say, wow, I'm grateful and glad he did that because it made me into the man I am. And that fear, you said, I don't want to put the frown on my dad's face. I want to put a smile on. So that got you out of a lot of situations where you may have thought about, well, how this is going to get back to my father and how's he going to feel about that? You think about it beforehand. So there's nothing wrong with that little bit of fear to make you go the right way. So that's a beautiful analogy right there.
Yeah, and it's a reverence. You know what I'm saying? It's not even fear in terms of scared or afraid. Right. It's reverence. It's right. It's like I understand that relationship, and you have reverence, even down to respecting authority and the institution of the law. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people struggle with authority. Period. I never struggled with that because he always told me respect the badge, respect the teacher, respect the preacher, respect the role, respect the president, just no matter what, respect the office of authority and you'll be okay. He said, but you're still a man. You don't ever diminish yourself in the presence of authority, but respect that institution of authority. You know what I'm saying? And that's a teaching that I feel has helped me a lot in life to avoid a lot of these situations that a lot of our young men are facing because there's such animosity built up against authority, period. Right. It doesn't matter who it is. It doesn't matter what color they're wearing. Is if you are telling me what to do, I'm against you. I'm fighting back. I'm angry. Well, I don't carry that burden because this strong, powerful man of God who worked, in the coal mine, who preached, told me, how to respect authority and the benefit to myself for doing so. And so, of course, being respectful to my father taught me how to even walk in authority, right? To know when I'm the one in charge and how to carry myself and expect and give that respect, right? So even when I'm running my organization and all the things that I do as a leader, I demand not, you better respect me. I demand it in the way I carry myself, right? And you can do that in a graceful way, but I only know that because he demonstrated grace as a sense of power, not a sense of this soft thing. Is it grace? No, it was a powerful I can snap you in half, but I won't type of thing.
Exactly. And that's an amazing thing. And that's what we need. You know, a lot of our young men don't have that, Alvin, which you have to look. And that's why a lot of the issues that we're having now is based on a lot of that, the non-conformance to authority, the disregard for authority, because they haven't seen it. It's like, I ain't gonna respect because I never looked at it and lived with it and experienced it. So their perspective is totally different. That's why wherever moves you can make in young men's lives, I'll take the opportunity to talk to young men. Some will listen, some won't. But it's my responsibility to speak, and it's up to them to receive it.
That's right.
Hey, Alvin. When we get back on the other side of the break, I do want you to speak more about your organization, because we only got one more segment with you, another 20-minute segment with you. So I just want to make sure we get that in. Not only that, that we let everybody know where they can pick up your album.
Yeah.
Look, y'all, he don't mind singing. He don't mind singing.
I know. I love to sing.
So listen, you guys, we're just having a conversation with the Garretts with an S, and we want to thank you, Father Garrett, for coming on and just imparting wisdom with us. Please stay, if you can, for our next segment with your son. If you have any more, look, all you have to do is this, because we do know authority. I got something to say. I need to shut up. I'm piping up now. Okay, got something to say. So anyway, we only have one more segment with the Garretts, you guys. So if there's anything you guys want to ask, or please type that in the chat at The Real Level Up on Facebook. You're listening and watching Level Up, real talk that takes you higher. I am your host, Angee from the B. We'll be right back.
If I scream in the darkness, could anybody hear my cry? If I scream in the darkness, could anybody hear my cry?
Yeah, woke up in the morning, instead of yawning, roaming through the thoughts in my head, in my bed, trying to figure out if my life was the next step. It's just one of them days. I don't want to be seen, no need for the sun rays. Y'all don't really want to feel my pain. If I died tomorrow, y'all wouldn't care, no way. Just me, myself, and I, and all the lies the enemy makes me believe them. But no matter how hard I try, I can't deny it's life worth living next season. I don't want to be here no more. Tell me, is it the best of my life gets? I just want to call it quits right now. Go into town, I ain't even made it out of bed yet. Hey.
Darkness, could anybody hear my cry? My cry. If I scream in the darkness, could anybody hear my cry? Hear my cry.
Lord, take me away. I don't want to feel it no more. Cause the pain won't go. Don't nobody wanna hear me complain. That's a lot of front door. Feeling so low. I don't wanna waste your time, so I think that it's best I go. Should I take these pills? Should I grab that blade? Matter of fact, think I got a gun in the top drawer. Yeah. Tell my mama that I love her. I ain't mean to bring tears. And my pop's been gone. But deep down, I be wishing that my daddy's still here. The girl that broke my heart. I apologize that I wasn't worth your time. So as I take this 9 with the tears in my eyes, Holy Spirit says,
If I scream in the darkness, could anybody hear my cry? If I scream in the darkness, could anybody hear my cry? Hear my cry.
Something about you takes me away. Oh, your glow, you shine it every day, right? Relaxing like we're in an oasis. Ooh, there's no fuss and no fight. There's no wrong, it's alright with you. So when I'm with you, girl, it feels like paradise. Oh, yeah. It's that look in your eyes lets me know. Say, girl, I know that it's love. It's the light of love. Yeah, so delightful love. Take a flight of love. It takes me away. It's the light of love. It's so delightful love. It's the lightness of love. Oh, some call it cloud nine, but I prefer to call it your presence. Oh, some say they falling in, but there's no tripping when you're in heaven. Oh, there's no fuss and no fight. There's no wrong, it's alright with you. So when I'm with you, girl, it feels like paradise. Oh, it's that look in your eyes lets me know. Sing, girl, I know that it's love. It's the light of love. So delightful love. Take a flight of love. It takes me away. It's the light of love. It's so delightful love. It's the lightness of love. And I see the light. So delightful love. Take a flight of love. It takes me away. It's the light of love. It's so delightful love. It's the light. It's the lightness of love. Oh, la la love. Oh, la 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 la. It's love. Oh, let me say la 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 la. Say it's love. It's the lightness of love. It's the light. So delightful. Take a flight of love. Oh, takes me away. It's the light of love. So delightful love. It's the lightness of love. No fuss and no fight. No wrong, it's alright. Girl, take a flight of love. It takes me away. It's the light of love. So delightful. Oh, it's the lightness of love.
What you want, baby, I got it. What you need, you know I got it. All I'm asking is for a little respect when you get home. Hey, baby, when you come home, darling, I'm every woman. It's all in me. I can read your thoughts right now. Everyone from A to Z.
Hey, this is Nolan Holloway, aka Mr. Scribe. Just letting you know that I have 3 books of poetry that's available on Amazon.com. So when you get a chance, go to Amazon.com, look up Nolan P. Holloway Jr., not Mr. Scribe, and pick up one of my books for your enjoyment. Peace.
Unveiled Treasures Bookstore. We offer a variety of items: church supplies, homeschool resources, music, books, and gifts. Our free ministry partners online affiliate program provides a collection of Christian resources. Unveiled Treasures, exquisite jewels to enrich your soul.
Hey guys, vibe with Mr. Scribe on Level Up.
It's your girl, Dr. Monique Frazier, owner of Prestige Decor and More. Let's level up on Sundays, 3 to 6 p.m. Ordinary people with extraordinary stories.
Hey, this is Dr. Crystal of Kaleidoscope Counseling Center. Level up with me and Angee from the B every Sunday from 3 to 6 p.m.
Get inspired with real talk that takes you higher, like me, Terry Cummings, legend of the NBA. Level up, Sundays from 3 to 6 p.m. Ordinary people with extraordinary stories.
And welcome back to Level Up, real talk that takes you higher. I am your host, Angee from the B. Welcome back, everyone. And thank you guys for hanging out with us this beautiful Sunday afternoon. All right, let's get right back into our conversation with the Garretts. Yes, I said the Garretts with an S. We have the privilege of having Senior Garrett on today.
I got Angee, Alvin Garrett number 1 and Alvin Garrett number 2. AG1.
Hey, before we run out of time, Alvin, we definitely want everybody to know. Let's talk about your nonprofit. Let's talk about that real quick. So, What's going on? What's happening? How can people get involved? How can they find you, first of all?
Okay, DannonProject.org. DannonProject.org is the number 1 Department of Labor-funded reentry program social services agency. We're actually a training to work agency. Basically, we're accredited in Alabama post-secondary training school. Let's tell you like this: you go to those other schools and you leave with debt. You come to the Dannon Project, you leave with a check. We actually subsidize the learning process for at-risk populations to get training in a variety of automotive, health, and human services industry. Just, it's an amazing thing that we're part of. And I started an innovative program called The Right Life, which is a songwriting therapy program for a lot of our participants, many of which have been in and out of jail, have dropped out of school. So like I say, at-risk population, that's who we focus on. And it is an amazing organization that does so much good. And you see, when you give a person a different set of circumstances, they make different choices. And that is what's so amazing about the Dannon Project, is we change those circumstances with holistic services, support, mental health services, life stabilization plan, career plans, all of which once our participants complete, they very seldom go back into the things they came out of. So it's an honor to be a part of this agency, and a lot of people can go to Dannon Project on our Facebook page. We've done some live stream fundraisers while I performed, and you can scroll down and check some of that out. Just amazing things we're doing here in Birmingham. and we're expanding. We just opened up in Tuscaloosa.
Okay.
Yeah, Montgomery, Alabama, Houston, Texas, South Carolina. So it's a model that we're expanding into other communities because it is so successful.
Man, okay, and let us know when it's heading over here to Atlanta, which that's probably what on the horizon, right?
Hey, listen. Right now, what we're doing is just strengthening the model to be able to grow into other markets because it's a very very niche type of services that we offer, and there's a lot of great reentry programs and social services agencies across the country. We just so happen to be the best. I'm just saying. So shout out to Carrie Pruitt, our executive director who founded this over 20 years ago. And I'm just honored to be a part of it and part of the next 20 years.
Nice. Well, Mr. Scribe, what you got for him before he shoves on off? You got things to do now.
Just amazing, the paying it back that you're doing, Alvin, and the influence that your father had. That makes me feel really good. The fact that you acknowledge, you respect, and you give umbrance to him on his Father's Day. So, Angee, I gotta give it to you. You did a nice setup today. Al came through. Al came through by strategically. You know what? I think I'm gonna go to my dad's Father's Day. So he's always thinking kind of guy. And that last song, Al, that was the song. The one we just played. That song is the one that hit me. That's the song that hit me. Need one of those T-shirts, 2XL.
Yeah, I got you.
But it's just refreshing, and hopefully some of our listeners will see this is what a father-son look. This is what it looks like. This is how a father influences a son. And even at this late stage in life, to still be able to say, you know what, I love you, Dad, and I'm happy for everything that you've done, whether it was the tough times and the struggle, we can bask in this moment. And that's what it's all about.
Yeah. Yes, and I like to say this, to encourage people who may have had some troubled relationships with their fathers. I'll say I'm first generation son of love. Because my dad told me the stories of, his father abandoning him and he was with his grandfather and how mean he was and how unloving he was. And, it was a pretty tragic type of upbringing from that regard. And he said he decided that he wasn't going to treat me that way, that he wasn't going to treat his kids that way. And God taught him how to love us this way. He didn't experience it, so he could have passed along his trauma. He could have passed along his experiences to me, and I could have been yet another, angry young black man. But he decided that no, I'm gonna learn and allow God to teach me how to love. I may not have seen it myself, so that's just shows that it's possible that we don't, as young men, have to say, well, because my daddy did this, I did it. We don't have to carry the curse in a sense. You can cut it off by decision and by choice. And so I want to honor him today for saying, I didn't know my grandfather or my great grandfather. All I've known is God through him. That's it. I've known my father up there through him because he chose to show me that love and that fatherhood and to emulate that to me. Sure. So
for all the men out there that's listening, listen to what he just said. His father went through a traumatic experience because my father and our fathers of our generation didn't know how to do this. But here's a man that made a choice to allow God to guide him, and look what he imparted in his son. So to me, it's a choice. You can make excuses, you can rationalize things as men do, but through the power of God, it can make a generational change. So if you don't get anything else, think about it like that. No matter where you come from, what direction you in, and it's a part of my experience as well, you have a choice. And if you choose to follow him, he's going to show you. Yeah, you're going to struggle. Yeah, you're going to go through some painful experiences. But at the end of the day, you can look back, wow, God, okay, I saw why you did that when you did it. And that's the key right there. You guys are the example. So I advise whoever's watching, rewatch this show again.
Right.
Look, Dad done piped up now. Y'all ain't see the cue. I saw cue. Be quiet. Dad's ready to talk.
There's only one preacher here. That's preacher right there. I'm just sharing my experience. Don't people don't try to call me reverend. No, that's not my call. That's not my call.
Be ready to talk. Be ready to talk. But then give us your parting words. Thank you for once again being on. But give us your parting words.
Yeah, some parting words.
Well, I'm just in total agreement with my brother. The things that he said, because like my son said, I even preached on this today, like he was there, and he had already repeated some of the things that I put in the teaching that I did today. And I let people know, I have seen my father. I saw my father 3 times in my whole life. And as he said, I was determined not to bring my children up the way that I was brought up, because I never heard my grandfather say love. I never heard that word come out of his mouth. So, I want to make sure that they understood what love was, not just saying it, but showing it to them in person. So that's something that they have never seen. Me and my wife never have argued. They never seen anything like that. And as he said, even when I disciplined them, they knew that I loved them. They didn't, I didn't discipline them, and then they was afraid of me like I was my grandfather. I was just afraid to be around him. But I never stopped treating them real nice, even if they did wrong. Once I disciplined them, that was it. That debt would cancel out. Okay, let's do better. And still right now, as he said, this is my friend. Just not my son. He's many things to me. And he's number one on my list. Even with his singing, I tell him I'm not biased. I say, but I just love you singing. And I remember one time when he was writing all of his songs, and people was, getting his songs and singing, and I let him know, can't nobody sing your songs like you, because God gave those songs to you, and then He gave you the voice to sing. And I remember way back, and then he started singing, and now look where he is. So I just thank God for it.
So anybody that loves my music as an artist, you can credit this guy for bringing me from behind the pen and behind the board and putting my voice out front. It was his encouragement that led me to actually become a solo artist. Because other than that, I was just trying to write for other people.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Well, okay, I'll say it. Thank you, Dad. I told him, I said, you have a whole lot of fans on this show. We play his music, Dad, on a regular basis because, we are Christian based, but, we're not the type of show that only play gospel music. I've been telling people, just send me great music. And he has it. He really has great music. And like you said, he is speaking through his music to the masses of people that just need to know what true love is and what being, what a loving man can be, a loving father can be. And when he was on the show before, we may have talked a little bit about his projects, which the projects speak for itself. We didn't really have to speak a lot about it because it's just a great project. And now that he's come back with another one, I was like trying to track him down. Alvin, give me the new music. Alvin, give me the new music. But he eventually did. I know. Look, Alvin, I know what it's like, brother, when you're trying to, get stuff going. People can just come at you. So we remain, patient over here until you got to us. But thank you once again, Alvin, for coming on. There's the baby girl again. You guys, if you want to know who melts Alvin's heart, there she is right there again. She made another cameo appearance. So thank you, Greer, for coming on again and just, gracing.
She's rocking her shirt. Hey. But yeah, so thank you all for having me. Thank you all for having me. And everybody visit alvingarrett.com and check me out. Follow me on social media at the Alvin Garrett. I'm on Spotify, Apple Music, if you want to check out my catalog of music. So thank you all for the opportunity to share on Father's Day. Now, this has been beautiful, and I didn't tell you I was going to do this, but this was very, very beautiful to be able to share my actual father instead of just talk about him and show my children on this platform. So thank you so much for this opportunity.
Always. Well, Alvin, you are not a stranger to the show. You are a family member. So please, Alvin, if there's anything that is going on, pick up the phone. You know how to get in contact with all three of us now and said, hey, you know,
Yes.
I want to just pop on and just let people know what's going on, especially, you know, what you're doing with your nonprofit. I mean, Alvin, congratulations to you. Much needed. I know that you are giving not just, you know, your talent, but you're giving your heart to it, and that makes a difference. That is what makes an organization that's good to be great. And I
Yes.
thank you for doing that.
And I also have a chance to be a father figure to a lot of our young men who don't have fathers. And, you know, they even call me Pops. You know, they, what up, Pops? You know, and it's not something you ask for. It's they just see it in you, and they see that you love them. And we have, and one of the most amazing things is when young men say, I love you for the first time to another man, a grown man. And you know it's their first time feeling that love from a grown man, and it's safe, a safe love. And so I have that opportunity with the Dannon Project to show the type of love that he taught me. I can show that to other young men who may have had traumatic experiences. So it's an honor and a blessing to be able to do that, and certainly appreciate the opportunity to talk about it here.
Oh yeah. Well, you know, hey, Alvin, in the month of September, I'm going to get my bag on right now. Month of September, you know what I'm about to say, Mr. Scribe. That's our singers month, Alvin.
Come on. Come on. I didn't get to sing today. You got to bring me back so I can. Ooh.
I'm bringing you back, my brother, because you do have a great fan base here at the Real Level Up, and I'm sure everybody's like, yes, Angee, yes, bring him back. So we're going to bring you back, Alvin. We're going to put you back in contact with Grace. She will, you know, solidify those dates with you. So yeah, come on back, brother. Let's talk about the projects. Let's talk about the singing projects you got coming on. Well, as you guys have been seeing, that there are a couple of more handsome fellas that has come on the platform. I wonder who they are. Well, listen, you guys, on the other side of this break, we'll be introducing, well, my love, my heart. Of course, you guys will finally get an opportunity to meet the love of my life, Torrance Scott. He is my husband. I've asked him to come on. Yes, I put my bag on, Alvin, with my husband even. I got no flowers today, but can you come on?
Hey, you can't beg. You just have to look at him and say, happy wife, happy life.
Thank you, Alvin. Thank you, Alvin. But also, who is on the platform that we will be talking with, that is my brother-in-law and my handsome nephew who just graduated with honors. Yes, indeedy, these are two fantastic guys who raise sons that have been, you know, fantastic fathers, you guys. So that's the reason why I put my bag on and like, look, let me show off the Scott clan. Let me show off my husband and his brothers of how they have been awesome fathers to my two sons, their children as well. So we're going to be on the other side of the break, you guys. You don't want to miss this candid conversation. Well, Alvin, before you go, can you say one more time where they can find you, any and everywhere, so that people can purchase that out?
Yes, for my latest project, The Lightness of Love, just go out there, search that on all your streaming platforms, and once you look up Alvin Garrett, you see a host of other music. And also go to alvingarrett.com to follow me, get to know me. I got new music videos out there on my YouTube page. Just look up Alvin Garrett. So I look forward to September performing, because by that time I will have released the Lightness of Love Deluxe album. I'm working on about 4 or 5 new songs to add to the current project, because this light and love is something that I'm going to keep pushing, because that's what we need in the world. A lot of light and a lot of love. So thank you all for having me on today. And I'm going to continue to enjoy the family, but this has been so great.
Yeah, thank you, Alvin. You got any parting words, Mr. Scribe?
No, we just appreciate having you. It was great meeting your dad, you know, and your daughters today. So I'm just saying, when I pass through Tuscaloosa, man, I'm going to stop by for some good groceries.
All right.
Hey, you going to get you some Dreamland ribs.
Try some of that Alabama barbecue is pretty good.
You better know it. Well, hey, listen, you guys, we're going to go ahead and take our break. We're going to bid farewell to the Garretts, you guys, so they can enjoy the rest of their Father's Day. Thank you so much. Papa Garrett, we will see you. Hopefully, I'll get a hug from you when I come through Tuscaloosa as well. I'm from Birmingham, so I'm an Alabama girl, too. So anyway, on the other side of the break, you guys, I want to introduce you to the Scott clan. Two brothers. I couldn't get the third one on. I wish I could, but I at least got two of the Scott brothers that are on. Two dynamic men who are amazing fathers as well. We're going to go ahead and take our break. On the other side of the break, we will have our conversations with the Scott clan. You're listening and watching Level Up, real talk that takes you higher. I am your host, Angee from the B. We'll be right back.
Just make a list. I'll be your deliverer. Wrap it in a kiss. Whatever you you need, just write it down. I'll make you happier than a kid on December 25th. You and me, we're like a holiday every day. You for me, you've been my everything. So this is my gift to you. Whatever you need, you can have it in me. It's my gift to you. Love and you. This is my gift to you. This is my gift to you. Whatever you need, you can have it in me. It's my gift to you. My gift is love and you. Open me up. Take a look inside. I'll be your adventure girl. Pick and choose your surprise. Hold on to the packaging, if only for your eyes. There's no need for rationing, 'cause you got me for life, yeah. Oh, you and me, we're like a holiday every day. You for me, you've been my everything. So this is my gift to you, my gift to you. Whatever you need, you can have it in me. It's my gift to you. Love and you. This is my gift to you. This is my gift to you. Whatever you need, you can have it in me. It's my gift to you. My gift is love and you. Take me, here I am. Take me in your hands. Take me, every part. Take me, is my heart. Take me, here I am. Take me in your hands. Take me, every part. Take me, is my heart. This is my gift to you. Whatever you need, you can have it in me. It's my gift to you. Love and you. This is my gift to you. It's my gift to you, girl. Whatever you need, you can have it in me. It's my gift to you. My gift is love and you. This is my gift to you. Whatever you want, whatever you need is in me, girl. This is my gift.
Hello, my name is Rodney Damon Collins. I'm an actor, producer, author, and speaker. I'm excited to share my first book entitled Shattered, A Journey Through the Pieces. I wrote this book because there are millions of people like me in this world who are searching for purpose while navigating emotional distress. This book is for anyone who wants to be the producer of their own life. The reader will be encouraged to know that if they, 1, keep God first, 2, learn how to make peace with the pieces in our lives, and finally 3, never deterred from your dreams, that you will see your purpose fulfilled. I love you, and go grab this book on Amazon.com, Shattered, A Journey Through the Pieces.
Have you been sluggish, bloated, overweight? You could be toxic from your environment, food, and medications. It's time for a clean start. Come by or book online today.
Introducing Rain Premium Sanitary Napkin. Rain has an innovative design that is made with a strip infused with Nobel Prize-winning material, graphene. The infused graphene strip may provide various health benefits that potentially help relieve painful abdominal cramps, help balance the body's pH, help eliminate harmful bacteria, help with aroma, help fight fatigue, boost metabolism, boost immune system. Graphene moves heat away from your core and contains vibrational energy. In this test, we will add water to the graphene strip and then place a 7-watt light bulb onto the strip to demonstrate the level of energy contained. These medical claims have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. All results may vary. Protect the most precious jewel in the world, you. For more information, contact the person who referred you to this video. Rain is exclusively designed by Jewel Sanitary Napkins, LLC.
It's been long enough that you've been walking around in the wilderness trying to figure out, who am I? Why am I here? What gifts do I have to make a difference? Well, it's time to warm it up. Discover your true identity. Unleash your gifts and impact the world to become a more bolder, braver, and courageous you. Join me, Kathy Hood, at a life-changing workshop, Woman Up, the journey of owning your power and unleashing your true self.
Hi, I just finished the Sizzling Sundays, WTNT. This is Kia Carr, and I have a new album out called Life, Love, and Hope, and you can get it on www.kiacar.com. That's KIAKERR.com. Again, I just finished Sizzling Sundays, and my name is Kia Carr. New artist out, Life, Love, and Hope, new album, KiaCar.com, KIAKERR. Thank you so much. God bless.
I'm gonna speak life in every way, Let the people see, let them see, and make sure you know you're right. Oh, when you speak.
What's up? It's your boy Fred Jones. Let's level up on Sundays 3 to 6 p.m. Ordinary people with extraordinary stories.
Yo, level up, real talk that takes you higher with your boy Mike Jeezy. Tune in Sundays from 3 to 6 p.m.
It's Dr. Robert Frazier, CEO of Silk Educational Consulting, and it's time to level up every Sunday from 3 to 6 p.m. Real talk that takes you higher.
This is Terry Cummings. Listen or watch Level Up each and every Sunday from 3 to 6 p.m. Keep it locked right here.
And welcome back to Level Up, real talk that takes you higher. I am your host, Angee from the B. Welcome back, everyone. And thank you guys for hanging out with us this beautiful Father's Day Sunday. All right, Mr. Scribe. Now you know me. I got my bag on.
Yeah, you got your bag on. Big, huge time. I ain't trying to plug nothing this Sunday because you done took over. It's begging folks right on there. No shame. Just saying I'm gonna do it. I'm just gonna go ahead and put it out there.
No shame at all. Look, let me tell you something. So I asked my husband, and my two brothers are all at the same time. So you see who popped on real quick. Right. My brother-in-law Ricky was like, I am ready to do it. Hey Ricky, how you doing?
All right. How you doing?
I am good. Rick, thank you for coming on the show. I know this is Father's Day and a special day for each and every one of you guys, but thank you for doing this. I know I couldn't hold you up because you know your brother already said on Father's Day.
Ricky, I said the same thing. We had the show last week and the show went very well. And then Angie's like, see you next Sunday. Next Sunday? I said, next Sunday is Father. She said, you're working. So here I am. Tried to go to the beach. Had to go to the virtual beach because I couldn't go to the real beach because it's raining.
See?
All right. Well, we do what we can, right?
Absolutely. What we can. Thank you. Thank you. Well, listen, hey, Rick, I asked you and your brother to come on because, hey, this is my way of giving you guys thanks for being amazing fathers. You guys have been. I mean, let me say this to you, Rick. When I found out that, Carlos was graduating with honors, and let's just say this, Level Up Nation, this is my nephew Carlos that you see on the screen. He's the one with the glasses. The other one is my son. You've seen him before. Hey, Carlos. And when I heard, Carlos, that you were graduating with honors out of this crazy pandemic, kudos to your father. Now, I know your mom has done a lot. But we're not down in mom, but we're giving some honor and glory to the fathers that are out there because we just had a guy that came on, and he brought his father on. He's in his 40s now, and he's still saying, everything. He gives everything to his dad. So, I just got to hand it to you guys. I know you guys are my family members, but okay, let's talk as if I'm not. I am proud of each and every one of you guys, and I'm proud to be a Scott because of, just the way that you guys are family first, and that you guys just you don't play around with it. You don't play around with, what it's like to just to be a man and a man of God. So I ask you guys to come on, just to speak about, what it was like, just raising your kids, raising your sons. Because let's see, I think every last one of you guys only have sons. Is that correct? Does anybody on here? You do have Nicole.
We got that quick, huh?
You see, Mr. Scribe, you see how they are, right? This is how we are.
Well, I have sons, but then I also have daughters as well, so I understand.
But she's the only one, though.
Only one. Well,
Yes.
now we can't forget Nicole. Nicole is actually the only niece I have on this side of the family. So shout out to Nicole. Nicole, Lord have mercy, girl, if you're watching. Whew. But the Scott clan is full of guys. But I have to say that from the bottom of my heart, you guys have been amazing, amazing men. And I've watched you guys, just how you've been raising your son, Carl, your daughter. And, they have grown up to be just amazing, great people. But that's a testament of you guys just being amazing fathers.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, kind of reverse for us, we had one sister. So it seems like it goes on and on because all of us got ways, and it's only one girl with Nicole too. And then I married Angee. She got all sisters.
All sisters.
Well, we believe in doing it big. Go all the way.
So, Carl, Torrance is the oldest of all of you guys because it's four of you guys with one sister, and you are the second oldest, right?
Yes, that is correct.
My goodness, Carl. So, what was that like?
Yeah. So, of course, we had our father. He's always there. Even when he couldn't physically be there, we always knew he was behind us. But also, the fact that Terry, being the oldest, was also always there. And I remember, a few times having to deal with issues when my father wasn't around. And, he was always there. Terry was always there, for us, me and my younger brother Shell to lean on and ask questions about things. And, that's just, just how he's built, is that we've always been able to look and learn from him, whether it had something to do with education or sports or, whatever it is that we've gone through in life. And so, as a father, it was just an extension of what his natural character is to be. And, all of us, underlings, really appreciate him always being there. So.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, my brother. I pay you. But yeah, concerning our dad, we were raised basically Air Force. So we did a lot of traveling. We traveled. We lived in Spain. We lived, all over the place. And I really appreciated. I didn't appreciate it back then, but I didn't know the regiment as far as the discipline. That it needed for him to have a successful career in the military, but how that transfers over to real life. You know what I mean? So discipline. That's number one. And, basically what I took into me when I found out this is what I want to do in life, be this type of person. I want to be a musician. So I knew it was going to take it. And I would think back at my dad and be like, yeah, that's going to take is that type of discipline in order to be the man I want to be, especially in the field that I'm going in, because it's not easy. So you got to stay on top of it. And that's what I try to teach my sons. It's like, well, look, you got to discipline yourselves, because you're going to need that later on when you're out on your own, when mom and dad, you can't go over mom and dad, or, if you move out of state or whatever, you can always come home. But, just the discipline to say, no, I can't do this because I have to save my money for this. I need to buy this later for my career. It's just all about, it boils down to discipline, and that's really it. Once the kids, they're going to grow into it. Hopefully they'll grow into it. I know my kids will, but it's just us being patient with them and, watch it happen,
Yeah, and that's another thing is, I'm glad you brought up the Air Force, because when my son, on his graduation day, I gave him an Air Force pin to put on his tie. And I also explained to him why that Air Force pin was so important. It represented his grandfather, who passed away, last year in December. But it also represented the opportunity that the military gave him.
Yeah.
We've been down to where my father grew up in Mississippi, and my mother as well. Both of them were from Mississippi, and they were actually the Air Force, the military is what allowed him to transition out of the transition into the type of life that he wanted. Because he was really good at what he did. He stayed in for 22 years. And was highly regarded, and won all kinds of medals, and not won, but earned all types of medals for the work that he did for the military and all the time that he was there. And that discipline, is once again something that like Terry mentioned, that it was something that he instilled in all of us. So I myself went into the Air Force, but also it was something that transitioned through me to my son. That's the reason, part of the reason why he was able to get to the point that he got those honors, grades, and stuff like that, because it took his discipline from what he learned from me and what I learned from my father to understand that, you got to stay on track. If you're doing something, you do it. You don't halfway do it. You do it all the way. And so he carried that with him, because just think about, what, as a senior, what he's gone through in the last 2 years.
Man.
His whole last year was totally out. He had to maintain a discipline himself to do all of that work himself, because there was no teachers, there was nobody else, really there pushing him to do it. And sometimes, I get on him a little bit, right? Because I'm like, I'm a little bit, a little bit pushy in some situations, but he's like, I got this. And he just, went ahead and he showed me. So every time his grades came out, he was like, I told you, I got it. I'm showing you I got it. Here's the evidence. And he just carried that all the way through. So I'm so proud of him, for what he's done. And I know that, that I'm excited to see the young man that he continues to grow into.
Yeah. Same here. I got great kids, man. I mean, I'm blessed to have them. We can have conversations about things. We might not agree a lot, but that's our job as parents, to say, look, it's all right to have your opinion now. Now, my job as your dad is to not let you hit that brick wall if I see you heading for it. So once we, you get an understanding of where I'm coming from and where he's coming from, and then you got to let them have their own little route or way that they're going to go. So, I'm learning that a lot right now, because as they're coming up, you're trying to steady them as they walk, and don't touch that and come over here and get over there. So as they get older, it's kind of hard to let that go in a sense because you're still trying to guide them as they try to make adult decisions about things. So me being an adult or having fellow males in my life, if I have I have friends that I have brothers that I have cousins or whoever in my life that if I haven't personally dealt with it, I have people that have. So experience, but you got to let them go ahead and try it and catch them when they fall. And that is hard to do, with your sons, like I said, it's a lot different. I don't know about girls. I've never had any girls. I mean, I'm probably glad I don't because they would probably never be able to do a daggone thing, Back over there, stop that, put that,
Oh, he is not a girl dad, y'all. Lord, poor our nieces who live with us, poor things, Lord. Simone and Nicole, we're gonna apologize right now, but
But yeah, my boys, Eric is my youngest, so I'm trying to guide him, but I want him to be his own man. So I'm trying to give him the room to do that. Show him discipline on handling his bills and taking care of business. But he's got it. I'm just stepping back and letting him do it. And that's, like I said, it's hard to do, but it's got to be done. So keep going for it. Keep going for it.
Well, let's hear from the young people. Carlos, you got your mic open.
I know.
Hey, what do you got to say about all this? Now that you know why Dad did this and why Dad did that and whatever. First of all, listen, Carlos. I mean, that is a great feat that you have done to graduate with honors with half your year in COVID. All of this past year was COVID. Man, I mean, are you in agreement that it just took the discipline that they are describing to get to that level?
Yeah, it took a lot of hard work, though. I try not to think about it because I'm way too concerned about what's happening now and the short-term future as well. Though I really don't acknowledge what has happened.
Wow. I understand. I mean, but one thing I did see, Carlos, was the level of relationship that you, Eric, and little Shelly started to develop as brothers. Just to kind of keep each other encouraging in other ways. So Eric, just to kind of get your feedback on what your dad and uncle was saying. What's your take? Your dad's.
Well, I will definitely say, growing up in it's a real different environment. You know what I mean? Like, I'm surrounded by men, so I'm gonna get this mentality of a man. You know what I mean? So I know personally that I can be very hard with y'all too. I know that, but but if you think about it, it's kind of like it's a good and a bad thing because since I've been going through the spiritual awakening lately, I've been reading Proverbs and it's really been teaching me how to be a man and also be a man around other men. You know what I mean? So y'all talking about the discipline and all that. It's kind of like, it's a knock in my head. Like, yo, get this. Like, you need to be disciplined. You need to be respectful. You need to be all of this. And like you said, we can disagree on things, but that does not give me a right to disrespect. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So like, growing up in my environment, the way I see things, it is very hard to like, kind of grasp that. But I will definitely say like the men in my family have really been that goal. You know what I mean? Like I can tell that y'all respect each other. Y'all respect, your dad. Y'all respect your mom. I can see that. So I'm looking at it. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get there, but I do have to bump my head a little bit. I wouldn't say that. I do bump my head. You see how my mom acting. But most definitely, when it comes to like all of us as individuals, we are definitely different. Like Carlos, he clearly got the brains of the group. And I'm going off the little siblings, the younger siblings. Me, I'm more so like the musical talent. You know what I'm saying? I got the jokes. I kind of got the entertainment on me. And then Shelly, he's just the athlete. Like he's just different. He just built different. But I see it And it's like we're all different, yet y'all all know how to like take care of us. You know what I mean? So when Carlos and Shelly came, my dad knew how to take care of us, despite we were all different people. And I respect that because it's like, dang, I can go to Uncle Rick's house and it'll be the same thing. I go to Uncle Shelly's house and it'll be the same thing. So, you know, I can definitely see how God blessed me with having these men in my life.
Yeah, I'm going to add something too. Yeah, staying over at your house was very inspiring for me because the sort of start of that environment, being with my cousins and you got everyone in one single home, that was really like I have a lot to step forward to. I told Uncle Terry myself, I'm gonna be better than you. That's the burden I place on myself, and that's what I'm going to step up to.
Hey, look, Carlos, yes, and tell them again, you gonna be better than them. You gonna be look, and it's really, you know, not about being better, but you guys were given the foundation through all of the brothers, including now let's not leave out Auntie Cody because she has a lot to do with rearing you guys as well. But we're talking about men as we're talking about Father's Day. You didn't only have your dad, Eric. You had, like you said, you had your Uncle Rick and you had your Uncle Shelly.
Yeah.
And so going over to Uncle Shelly and Uncle Rick's house, you saw the same thing. You saw like the same love, the
same thing.
Yeah, same. Yeah, you were cracking on your dad, but you was like, dang, Mom, you know, Uncle Rick is just like Dad.
Just like y'all sound like too. I ain't gonna lie. Y'all sound like.
Go ahead, Mr. Scribe. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying we got to get ready to go to break.
Okay. Well, yeah. Look, we got to go to break, you guys. Listen, when we come on the other side of the break, y'all see how this is going. This is my family. This is the Scott clan, you guys. We are very open, real, and honest. So hit that share button. Please invite some of your family and friends as we continue to have this conversation with the Scott clan. You're listening and watching Level Up, real talk that takes you higher. I am your host, Angee from the B. We'll be right back.
Can you hear me? Hear my humble cry. My soul cries out with praise for you. Please come near me. Quench this thirst inside my soul. My spirit rejoices in you. What about all the people?
I waited patiently. You turned to me and heard my cry. You rescued me from sinking sand. Now there's a song in my mouth, a melody of harmony with words from the heart, as we all do our part. Can you hear me? Hear my humble cry. My soul cries out with praise for you. Please come near me. Quench this thirst inside my soul. My spirit rejoices in you. You are my brother. I hold your arms up when you're weak. I listen when you speak. Never hold you back. I'll meet you where you are. Giving all we've got. We'll walk in unity. Can you hear me? Hear my humble cry. My soul cries out with praise for you. Please come near me. Quench this thirst inside my soul. My spirit rejoices in you.
Now can you hear me? Don't you fear me? If you can hear me, please come near me. Can you hear me? Don't you fear me? If you can hear me, please come near me. Can you hear me? Don't you fear me? If you can hear me, please come near me. Can you hear me? Don't you fear me? Please come near me. If you can hear me.
I won't harm you. I'll never turn my head away. I'll live lift you up each and every day. We'll take each step on that road, building heaven here on earth for all mankind. A life with dignity. Can you hear me? Hear my humble cry. My soul cries out with praise for you. Please come near me. Quench this thirst inside my soul. My spirit rejoices in you. Can you hear me? Hear my humble cry. My soul cries out with praise for you. Please come near me. Quench this thirst inside my soul. My spirit rejoices in you.
What about all the people? Can you hear me?
We about to fly. We about to soar towards the sky. Just be real. Come on, allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is PROMISSLAND Ministry FIRE on the MIC Course Legacy. You blood boy, you kin to me. His blood brought adoption agency for the Lord's cause. When the Lord forced conspiracy, the Lord talked to the black sheep. It's just been Gene dying cause your color. Son dying for a mother. Cain killed his brother, but we still able. Put your heart on the table. Put your head in the halo. Helping hand to amigo. Post the word when you feel low. And just fly. Soar across the sky. Because if you lay down and die, they gonna say you never stood for nothing. When the devil was bluffing, you cussing and struggling. Now cops handcuffing, stuffing you, pushing you in the car to take a ride. When you make bail, boy, I'm telling you, boy, you better fly. Soar across the sky, not how you begin. All about the way you tarry and carry while you pray and slay. From Monday to Sunday, for the finale, when you gone, it's grass greener on the cemetery lawn. Be about that life. About that gospel, disciples living never die. FLY.
Spread your wings, take off and fly. Fly. Soar across the sky. Fly.
Still bars, couldn't hold up. Fire flame, couldn't burn up.
Spread your wings, take off and fly. Fly. Soar across the sky. Fly.
Bars, couldn't hold up. Fire flames, didn't burn up. Still bars, couldn't hold up. Fire flames, couldn't burn up. Allow me to take this time and learn you something, youngin'. Ain't no future in frontin', your future in front of you. Who are you frontin' for? Transparency is the forefront of what's possible. Thugs turn to apostle. Streets on the pulpit, the realest thing I ever seen. Go ahead and fly, best of both worlds. Get the best out of you when you call. Too blessed for stress, too anointed for disappointment, too endowed to act how, too sanctified to believe the devil lies, too slain to feel any pain, too much favor to be on the naughty list, too much discernment to let you hit my gift, too prayed up to let my flesh mess it up, too many brothers and sisters in Christ to feel like I ain't got no family, holy rolling with me, I'm about to fly, set the sky aflame, holy fire dragon, breathing on folks' pain filled with propane, living water is heated, hot tea for the hot topic, can't top his performance, or fit my God into a locket, get the picture, 1 million prophets take flight, 100 million prophecies manifest, ancestry.com, bloodline, loyalty, you better fly.
So let me spread your wings, take off and fly, fly, soar across the sky, fly,
still bars,
So let you spread your wings and up and fly, fly. Soar across the sky, fly. Steel bars, couldn't hold her. Fire flames, didn't burn her. Steel bars, couldn't hold her. Fire flames, couldn't burn her. Soar across the sky. We about to fly.
Kim Ikemia Arrington is a career empowerment speaker, business strategist to career professionals, and employed entrepreneurs who are building their businesses while working demanding full-time job as well as a visionary event producer. She is on a mission to help the massive take career control by positioning them to transition into careers, businesses, and life they love on their terms. Kim certainly affirms that you can love your Mondays by doing only the work you desire and enjoy. Who says you can't love your Mondays? Kim affirms that you most certainly can.
Hi, this is Terry Cummings, formerly of the NBA, retired after 18 years, 18 seasons in the league. Just been chilling, working hard, though I think you work harder when you retire, but nevertheless running companies, pastoring 14 years, CEO over a hybrid of a television station of cable and streaming, and finally pushing toward the bid for the Hall of Fame. Level up and join us.
Nothing excites me more than to see children read the books that I illustrated and helped bring to life. You know, it's the process from start to finish, and you know, at the finish line, you see the children smiling and excited and sharing the stories with other children about, you know, an image or a book that they read. Another thing that gives me joy is working with new and upcoming writers, people who have all these stories that they want to tell and, you know, things that they want to share with the world, you know, just like, you know, me wanting to express myself as an artist and, you know, share my expressions. You know, people are doing the same thing with their stories, and to help, I feel like I'm helping making their dream come true.
I knew something was wrong with my body.
My name is Kelly Bryan, and I am the face of a type 2 diabetic. I am also the author of a book series called Numbers that is available on Amazon. The series is about how I use the low-carb diet lifestyle to get my numbers in non-diabetic range. I am living proof that it is possible to go from a 16.6 A1C to a 5.2. So let's kick type 2 diabetes, one number at a time.
This is Marion Boyd with Marion Collection, real talk that takes you higher. Level up on Sundays from 3 to 6 p.m. It's ordinary people with extraordinary stories.
Hi, this is Pat Nash, your dream coach. Want to take your dreams to the next level? Then listen to Level Up each and every Sunday from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. I am.
Hey, this is Melly coming at you from the Camp Transformation Center in Davie, Florida, and I need you to level up. Tune in every Sunday from 3 to 6 p.m.
It's your boy, Mark Buddington, a.k.a. Money Mark. Let's level up on Sundays from 3 to 6 p.m. Ordinary people with extraordinary stories. Yeah.
This is Dr. Renee Andrews, author of God Has a Plan for You, Life After Divorce. Level Up, real talk that takes you higher, on Sundays from 3 to 6 p.m. Ordinary people with extraordinary.
And welcome back to Level Up, Real Talk that puts you higher. I am your host, Angee from the B. Welcome back, everyone. And thank you guys for hanging out with me this beautiful Father's Day Sunday. Yes, as you guys know, of course, I got my bag on. And no one is laughing, no other than the people that usually watch this show. They're like, this Nolan. They're like, Angee did all.
Well, it's a trade-off that we're doing right here. See, I said I'd come on the show, but I need seafood.
See. What you have to do with Level Up. I just want to shout out to everybody in Birmingham. They're watching on the just text me saying, "Please, big screen. We have all the things." I'm like, thank you guys. Thank you to my mother and father. Happy Father's Day, by the way, to my dad, Mom Smiley. Thank you for watching Dad and being a great supporter of the show. Hi, Mom. Hi, Miss Winifred Smiley. Hi, Rhonda. Hi, Vicky. Hi, Miss Rice. Oh, look, Nolan. They're all
probably some of them watching on the big screen. So you guys are all could be on a laptop, but you could also be on the big screen as well.
I'm on the big screen.
They got
okay, I'm on the big screen. On the big screen.
I want to give a shout out to always our top fans, our diamonds, are watching as well. Thank you for your wisdom and Doris walking. Turn your stuff down. Your feedback. Yeah, anyway, also, yes, you. Also, want to give a shout out to Valeria is watching this guys. She's on YouTube. Thank you, Valeria.
Oh, cool.
Look, she done
hey,
love
it. Yep, she's got technical skills, so she's on Facebook. She transitioned over to YouTube. So yeah.
Oh yeah. So she got some skills. So thank you guys for watching. Well, getting right back into our conversation, what we had to do, everybody's gonna have to mute out until you speak, so we can get rid of that feedback. So what I want to do, I want to switch over to, I want to go back to the young people, Mr. Scribe, and just, have them speak a little bit more, just about what the older clan was talking about as far as like discipline. Because Eric is like, yeah, I hear y'all talk about discipline, but I'm gonna go over here and read on my Proverbs and find discipline within the Word of God. Word of God first. But no, Eric, I want to switch it right back over to you, son, because you talking a little bit deep over there as far as what your not only your dad but your uncles were trying to instill in all of you guys. Because look, as Carlos was talking about, when Carlos did come and stay with us for a couple of weeks, Carlos, you saw. It's the same thing, the same type of love. Hats off to your grandmother and grandfather who were steady Eddie in raising your dads, I should say. And so that's why you guys can go from house to house to house and get the same love, same discipline, across the board. So I just kind of want you guys to speak on that a little bit more, because you got deep on
us. See, when you said deep, I thought you were talking about my voice. So I was like about to say thank you. But look,
this is Scott.
So when I'm talking like, my bad. When I'm talking like, wait, what I say? Dang, that was the Holy Spirit talking because I don't remember what I said.
When you were talking about when you went over to Uncle Rick's house and then you went over.
Did I freeze? I think I froze.
Uncle Shelly's house. You're fine,
Yeah.
Taurus.
So
That's the same thing.
Yeah. So basically, what I was talking about is like okay. So when I would get into the Word, right, and then you kind of read a little bit of Proverbs, whatever, you know what I'm saying, and then you get to the New Testament, it kind of gives you like the basis of a man. You know what I mean? Also a woman too. You know, it's not just like, yo, this is a man, you know what I'm saying? But what I get out of it, because, you know, of my, you know, I'm a man, what I get out of it is the basis of what a man should be and how he should act and how he should carry himself and how he should treat his children, how he should treat his wife. And from what I've seen with my own father is the way my dad treats my mom is like Jesus commands. He tells us to treat our wives like he treated the church. So being raised up in that is kind of like, I see it. You know what I mean? Like I know what to do. I know how to act. You know what I mean? And not only just how to treat your mom, how to treat anybody. You know, we would allow people to come into the house and they would stay for extended periods of time, and it would just be love. It wouldn't be like, yo, when you leaving? It would just be like, you know, do you need help or anything? Like, you know, is your car broke down? Yo, I'm about to pull up and pick you up. Or, you know, dude, I don't like, it's just things that I've seen being raised, you know, it kind of instills into my mind, and not only in my own parents, but also, you know, my uncles too. And not just on my dad's side, but my mama's side too, you know, how Abraham. But it's like everybody's like that, you know what I mean? And it's such a great foundation for any child to have. And then the reason I know it is because when I get into the Word, it says the same exact thing: be this way. And how we're like that. So it's kind of like a blessing and a half to, you know, have this environment around us. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I think I can help you out there, Eric. What you are seeing in your dad and your uncles is being about sacrificial.
Yeah.
You've been raised in an environment that each one of your uncles, even your aunts, they are displaying to you what it means to be sacrificial, and that's what, you know, that's what you're learning and growing, and then you see it in the Word of God, and it's not to say that your uncles and your aunts putting the book at you. They're just living the life that they learned through the Word of God. Does that help you out?
A little bit.
Okay.
I had it right when I said it, Mom.
Mrs. Scribe, go ahead and chime on in. I know you got something to say. You got something to say about this stock class.
Well, no, it's just that the you know, it's a blessing that, like when Eric was saying, as a young person, to be able to go to different places and see the same thing. It just, like he says, when he now is getting into the Word, it just reinforces, oh, so that's what it means. So now the Word becomes alive because he's actually seen it live. A lot of times people read the Word and it's like just a bunch of words on a page. But when you can read it and then take a real life example to see, oh, that's what it looks like, it's easier to emulate it. It's easier to emulate it when you can actually, oh, that's what it's like to be a dad. That's what it's like to be a father. That's how it is to treat a woman. When I'm looking at, because we have so many distractions in this world, how man thinks it should look like when we look at certain things on television, how they portray what a man is or what their definition. That's that's their definition, but we want to know what the true definition is. And as believers, that's where we go to find it. We go to the Word to find it. So now I'm equipped with this. Oh, when I see that, oh, I know that that's not what it is. I'm not fooled. I'm not tricked. I'm not taken over by, because there's a lot of things pulling at our kids. We've got, you're trying to put an influence on them when you're raising them, but especially the society we lived in, because people always joke all the time, oh, I'm so glad there was no internet and social media because the stuff that I was doing, it would have been all over social media had it been around. But kids now, it's instant gratification, Instagram, Facebook, things that they're doing, they're putting it out there. So they have so many things pulling at them, they need a strong foundation.
Mm-hmm. Amen.
On the spot.
What you got to say there, men of Scots?
Yeah, he hit it right on the head. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. You got to walk the walk and talk the talk. You know what I mean? Or talk the talk and walk the walk, whatever order that goes in. You got to do that.
Well, Torrance, like what you said,
because you got a bunch of people that are watching you, and so leading by example to me is the best way to do it. Now, I'm not perfect. Nobody's basically perfect. So it's going to be some bumps in the road when you're trying to lead by example. But you definitely got to say, look, I'm not just going to tell you, I'm going to show you. If you can't do that, then it's going to be a problem, especially with a young man, because they kind of want to see what the deal is. And, talking about it is one thing. You turn around and do something else, it's like, nah, I can't really hold you. I can't hold that. That doesn't hold water, basically. So,
and that's the hard part too, Torrance, because we know we're not perfect, and we're trying to do the best we can as dads and as men, but we're imperfect, as we all know, based on the word. We're not. So we try to do the best we can, but that also lets them see, wow, I'm looking up to my father, but I see that we're all flawed. So he's make mistakes. I know I'm going to make mistakes because there's no perfect model. And when you know that, not that you're going to go out and slip up, but you know that when you struggle, okay, I know that I can pick myself up and continue to move forward. And you're not so down on yourself that you're ready to give up. Because a lot of times what will happen is you'll get beat down by things. But you say, I saw my father when he was struggling, but he never quit. He never gave up. He kept pushing through it. So you can use that as an example, because we're all going to struggle. We understand that. But as our sons, and like you said, Torrance, people looking at you, wow, this man just went through a horrific experience or a tough time, but I still see that he's still standing and he's still moving forward. People see that. And when they see that, it motivates. And when that motivation comes, you can kind of get through a lot of different things that, some people really never make it through. It breaks them and they remain broken. So
yeah, you're kind of showing them how to deal with it. Adversity, problems, they're gonna happen, but how are you gonna deal with it? Everybody's got their own way, but you got to push through. And having family, like I said earlier, with people with experiences. Now, I might not have all the experiences, but I have, like I say, brothers, you have uncles, you kids, or I got friends. If I have an experience, I got people that have. So, don't think that you're alone in trying to deal with it. Always be able to talk to your folks. You know what I mean? And they're going to have an opinion. They might have not what you want to hear, but I'm only speaking from the way that I dealt with the adversity, or I went through it, and this is how I got through it. Now you can use that as a stepping stone to get, through what you're going through. You might add a little bit of this or subtract a little bit of that. But if I have an experience, like I said, I have family, my brothers or my friends, and this is how they dealt with it. So that's my job as a man, giving information to another young man. This is how I dealt with it. This is what take it, use it, add to it, subtract for it, but get through it. You know what I mean?
Yep. And that's what's important. The fact, like you said, it takes a village, and the fact that they have all these other men around. If they can't speak to you, they can go to their uncle. They can go to someone else and basically get, and a lot of times your voice is so much in their ear. Sometimes you need to hear a different voice.
Exactly. Right. You can be telling them the same thing, and then they go over here and say, he told me that. And I'm like, I told you that too. But
it's not always about watching or listening to what people say. Watch what they do.
Yeah, exactly.
People will say a lot of things, but it's the behavior that you see that is more important. And that doesn't take away from the fact that your word is your bond.
Right.
If you say you're going to do something, you make sure you get it done. At the same time, Just because people say that they're going to do things doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to do what they're going to, what they're saying. So that's what's
Absolutely.
important. Keep your eye on the prize. Understand that when people tell you things, they may not be living the life that they're telling you that you need to live, but you're starting to understand and see the difference between when someone's words and their actions match together and they're congruent, and you can see exactly what they're saying is the way that they live versus when they say things, but they live a different way.
Right.
And that's where the wisdom comes in. The wisdom comes in, like what you just said, is what you just was saying in reference to, I'm gonna listen to what you say, but I'm gonna watch what you do, and based on that, is gonna give me the wisdom. Okay, I just saw what they said, but I saw what they did. That's not a path that I'm gonna go down, or I see a good example that I can emulate, and that's where wisdom of the man come. Wisdom is a man. That's how you grow. Because the thing is, you're not grown as these two young men. You guys are still growing. I'm 62. I'm still growing.
Mm-hmm. Well,
You never
another
stop.
example.
You never stop.
Yeah, another example is that I own my own business, so I have people that are under me. They're my band. I employ bandmates. Okay, so I just don't tell them what to do. Go get all that equipment and set it up. I'm right there with them, setting up everything. Which I could do that. I could say, look, I'm paying you enough money. Go set up this stuff. This is how you do it. I want it set up while I go sit and cool out, but I'm right there with them. And that's the difference. They see the example right before them. So, all this time I've been dealing with them, they telling me, look, you sit back and I'm like, no, I'm still out here with y'all. No, I'm going to show you, because when you guys eventually get your own businesses, there's a difference between a boss and a leader. That boss, it's a picture I saw, and it's a bunch of people pulling a huge block with a guy sitting on top of the block and pointing ahead and said, go ahead. And then the leader is at the front of the block, and he's pulling the block with everybody else. He's working with them, and that's what I'm like, no, that's what you got to do, because you get respect from everybody that that's under you. So that's an example that I taught my band, and I teach people, I try to instill it in my sons. I'm going to do what I say I'm going to do, and I'm going to show you how to do it. Now, my way of getting to it and your way of getting to it might be two different ways, but just get to it. Get to the point, get to, what you're trying to accomplish. Mm-hmm.
Most, what you thinking, man?
You got to lead by example. Of course, every student has the opportunity to choose their teacher, and no better teacher is someone who's the best student, you can say. And what I mean by that is, like, a teacher must be in the student's shoes and must understand what the student needs to know in order to push them forward while pushing forward alongside them. That was what a wonderful speech, paragraph, saying, phrase. It was what you said, Uncle Terry, was really good.
Oh, thank you, nephew.
Yeah, I like when y'all got into the wisdom thing, because me, I don't got all the wisdom, but I know I got like a little something. But when you delve into the whole wisdom aspect, when you get into that conversation, it always should start with, who do you fear? You know what I mean? When you want to have a basis of actual, like, true wisdom, you got to ask, okay, so what do you fear? Do you fear death? Do you fear life? So do you fear the man next door, or do you fear God? Right? That's where I base all my, like, wisdom and my knowledge, because when you look at somebody and you see the fruit of their actions, that's how you know that they have true wisdom. You know what I mean? So, all through Proverbs, it tells you the foundation of wisdom is the fear of God. So if I see a man and he's acting outlandish, but his words are saying other things, I'm like, okay, I don't think you really fear God, right? You don't fear the creator, the person that can dictate whether you have life or death for all eternity. Therefore, I'm not going to really listen to what you say. But when I see the men in my family, I see a very strong foundation that is set off of morality that is only given by God. And when I see that, it's like, okay, I can listen to what you say. You know what I mean? So when Carlos is like, you got to pick the right teacher, you got to really pick the right teacher, because if you learning off of Elmo compared to, like, I don't know, Jesus, you're not gonna get the same information. You know what I mean? And that's what I've been like learning lately, is that, you know, I'm a real hard-headed dude. I know I am. I'm very hard-headed, but I'm trying to like soften that hit. I don't know. You
But
know what I mean?
Eric, that's part of that's part of your growth. When
Yeah.
you can look at yourself and realize, I know that sometimes I'm kind of stubborn in things, that's being self-aware. Most times, most people that I meet, they're not self-aware. When you know who you are, and I can tell you've been studying Proverbs, once you know who you are and you're self-aware, it'll transform your life. Because when you come into situations like what you just said, somebody will be telling you something, and your discernment through the Holy Spirit, through God, is going to come to you. Okay, I heard what he just said, but my discernment is showing me that I just saw something that he just did, and it's not matching up. That's where the wisdom comes in. And your life will be, you'll avoid a lot of situations that a lot of other people fall into, just by the simple fact that you can discern those things. Those are things that I pray for. I pray for wisdom, and there were situations that I could have gotten involved with, but just because I was given that Holy Spirit discernment, I was able to avoid certain pitfalls. Not to say I'm not falling into some pits, because I have, but as you learn, and that's the other part, as you grow, you learn. A lot of people are my age and still haven't learned yet, which sounds silly when you think about, well, how can you be this age and not? There's a lot of people out there because they're following behind, like Carlos said, following the wrong teacher.
Yeah.
Hey, Mom, I might need to take your co-host, Mom.
And I would say that the stubbornness is not a problem. Stubbornness is not the problem. It's where it's applied. There's some things that you need to have your opinion and you need to dig into, and there's some things that you need to listen to some other people on.
Absolutely. And here we are, you know, we're like we said, we're a faith-based show. We were talking about Juneteenth. We as people of color, that's an important point as well, because we know what the world is. We know what people tell us it is, but we know what the truth is. And once you know what the truth is, anybody can't just tell you anything. They can say, well, here's history. I can go, no, I disagree, because there's a whole lot of history that you left out. And if you want me to have a conversation with you about history, then let's hear it all. And we're people of truth. We don't want to hear these certain narratives. The truth will set you free. Once you know what the truth is, you can look at things and be more wise when it comes to things, when you know what the truth is.
And I'm not going to let go of something just because, you know, someone necessarily tells me. I may be, you know, put to a point. I may get enough knowledge that I understand that the way that I'm viewing something may be wrong. But just because someone is telling me, that's not enough proof. I gotta, you know, you gotta work your way through.
Yep. That's part of being a man. You know what I mean? Being a man is like, okay, and you got to realize, you got to open up and say, well, look, people are telling me things and I know that it's right, but I'm going to ignore you. Like you said, you got to pick your teachers, and teachers will lead by example. Okay. So you're going, you know, you're going to try some stuff, and, you know, your family is going to say, they're going to have their opinion, and they have the right to have their opinion about certain things, but it's ultimately up to you. You know what I mean? We're here to catch you when you fall, but it's ultimately up to you what you're going to do with it. Now, you can't shut us out when we say, look, this might happen, that might happen if you do that. You might do this, you might do that. I'm here as your dad, or your mom's there, or your aunts or your uncles, and they're, you know, that's their job to guide you. So, you know, just be aware of that. Just keep your mind open. But these other people around, you really got to look at their motives for what they say and what they do, opposed to concerning the questions you ask them and the opinion you're seeking from them. So be aware of that as a man growing up, because it's a lot of things that people were telling me, you know, when I was coming up, well, you're never going to be able to do this, and you're never going to be able to do that, and you know, and these are people that I looked up to, you know, as far as friends, you know, what I considered friends, and something in me said, no, I think I'm gonna be able to do that. I think I can do that. Now I might not be able to do it here, but I'm gonna be able to do what I'm trying to do. You know what I mean? I just got to put the discipline that was brought in by my dad to, you know, the actions I'm trying to take in the mission that I'm trying to accomplish.
And the stubbornness.
Right. Exactly.
Right back into it.
Right. You know, as long as I'm not hurting anybody or taking anybody down or whatever, I'm going to bump my head, you know, and you guys are going to bump your heads for things that you really feel strong about. But, you know, what your family and your good friends are telling you and your parents and all of that, you know, take it into account. You know, listen, because they're not going to tell you anything that's going to hurt you. So.
Right. We're not trying to,
No, go ahead.
It's not that that the advice that we're giving is against you. It's just from our experience, you know, what we think. And so it's just something to put into your mill, let your mind wander over it and take in some of that other information, because group minds, you know, do better thinking. And if you have the right type of people that you're listening to, you know, that'll take you far.
Absolutely. And Angee, you heard what your son said, Eric. Eric said, "Oh, I'm gonna have to steal your co-host." You heard that, right, Angee?
Oh, look, we just agree on some things. We disagree on some things. But you know, it's so funny.
He's a very knowledgeable man, Eric. He's a good.
Oh yeah, I know. You know, it's so funny because every time you get Scottman around, we usually do this. We talk about like, yo, you need to get better, but it's like we're preaching to the choir to ourselves. You know what I mean? Like we all know this, but I just had to say it.
Well, yeah, I get it. I understand. You know, that's why I was saying, you know, sometimes it's better to have interjection by other people.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that, as long as it's the right person.
Correct. And you'll learn. You'll learn just by living life. Carlos and Eric, you were young guys, and you know you're gonna accomplish some really good things in your life. But again, most experiences that you have is going to teach you something, and it's the lessons that you take away. And you put it aside, and then I'm telling you, whatever you put aside, it's going to come up and easy. You may think, oh, it doesn't really mean anything. It's something trivial. But later on, it could be years later. You're going to look back, wow, because I had that knowledge, I made this particular choice. And if I would have made a different choice, it would have taken me in a totally different direction. When you can acknowledge that gives you that open-mindedness that I know that God is in my life, because when I came to that fork in the road, I had the wisdom and listened to what he told me, was obedient to it. Because we can be hard-headed. I've been hard-headed and did what I wanted to do, and I can look back on my life. Oh, when I made that choice or that decision, this is what happened. And it was a negative outcome as opposed to when I trusted what he told me and did it. And I can compare the two. And it's like night and day. And when you can do that, it doesn't make life easier, but you just get a better understanding of it.
Yeah. And another thing is relationship advice. Being a young man, you know, relationships. So don't be scared to talk with us about that, because, you know, I find, you know, growing up, it might be different now, but growing up, you know, with my friends and all of that, you know, we never really talked about, I don't know if it's so much now, but just your relationships with with your relationship, you know, your love interest. You know what I mean? So, you know, definitely don't be ashamed or scared, because I know I never did with my friends. You know, it wasn't that type of conversation. It was a whole different kind of conversation that we would have. But you guys are of age, you know, and the relationship, the love interest is going to start coming into your lives. So don't be scared to talk to your parents about that, because that weighs a lot on your life and your decision making. I mean, I got a friend right now, you know, I ain't gonna say no names, but that rules a lot of his life is the relationship. And it shuts him down and he can't move. You know what I mean? It's like, I can't really do this without having a good dad. I can't do this. You know what I mean? So, definitely don't be ashamed, because that is a big part of your life when you get into one, that can have a negative or a positive effect on you going forward with your life. Because some people, it'll shut them down. They can't move. You know what I mean? It's like, man, they driving me crazy over here. I don't know what to do. I don't know, what to say. I just can't. And it affects their jobs. It affects their attitudes with their other friends and people. And it shuts them down. So, as family members and as family, that's another big part that you can discuss with us. And we definitely recommend that you do once that starts to happen for you. Get yourself together first, because once you got yourself together, in my opinion, then the relationship is better. Once you're, on the way to doing what you want to do, you can have, relationships, friends or whatever, you go date and all of that stuff. That's great. But, definitely strive hard to get yourself together to whereas I'm all right with myself. I'm happy with myself. I don't need to be validated by a relationship.
Absolutely.
In order for me to feel good about myself,
It's again, we come kind of circle back around being self-aware. Once you know who you are, no matter who you meet, your male friends, your female friends, you're gonna know. And when you're in a situation, by being self-aware, okay, I know how I am, I know who I am. And that person that you're interacting with, you're going to know, maybe not right from the beginning, but you're going to understand, are we really that compatible? Because you're going to ask yourself certain questions because you're self-aware. I know I can't put myself in that situation because I just saw something in them that told me something. And the signs will pop up out of nowhere. You're like, oh, I really do like her. But then something will happen in a situation and it'll change your whole way of thinking. Oh, that's how they respond in that situation. I can already anticipate further down the road that's going to be an issue.
Right. And, the affairs of the heart are very, 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 it's hard to block out and take point on things when it comes to a relationship as far as, I'm going good and boom, boom, boom. And then you have a little static with the person that you're in a relationship with. And to shut that out is hard to do. It's very hard to do. So definitely feel free to discuss that with your family and be upfront and tell them what you're dealing with. And, I know when I was coming up, it was hard to talk to my male friends about that, as far as relationships, certain things I couldn't really discuss with my parents, because I didn't feel they would understand, you know what I mean? So, but we want you to know that your parents understand. We get it. So don't be scared or afraid to talk with us about that. I'm putting it out there and the door is open concerning that, because we don't want that to hold you back, because we've seen it hold back other friends.
And going back to, we keep rounding back to the same point, words and actions.
Yeah.
Words and actions. If what they're saying doesn't match with what they're doing, it's a problem.
Yeah. Yeah.
Always keep your eye on that. And it doesn't matter if it's relationships or work or, everything in your life, that same principle applies. Exactly. Words and action. If they do what they say they're going to do, that's good. If they, say something and do something different, keep your eye on it.
Right. All right, time for commercial there, Mr. Scribe. Oh, you're muted. You're muted, Nolan.
Oh, I'm sorry. The boss has instructed me that the last break we were going to go over that because she wanted the conversation to flow. So I do follow orders, Torrance, because I don't want demerits. If I get demerits, they add As the demerits add up, I get into more trouble with the boss, and I know who I answer to. Angee from the B. So when she gives direct orders, I obey.
Yes, I did forego our last break there, you guys, but we have come to the end of the show. I want to thank you once again for my family, God Clan, who has come onto the show on this special occasion, the Father's Day show. Thank you guys, for coming on.
And I like to say that I just met you, Carlos, and met your dad, Torrance, your brother. Never met him physically, but knowing Torrance, and if his brother and him are similar, he's a great guy, and I know you're a great guy as well, and you've raised a great son that I know you're very, very proud of. And as a father, that our chests just stick out when we know that our sons are doing well, and we had a little something to do with it. It's a very, very good feeling. So happy Father's Day to you guys, and and Angee, great being on the platform today.
Hey, not a problem. Well, listen, you guys, we're going to let you go for now. Of course, we will be back next week, same time, same place, with another live show. We have another dynamic show who will be representing. You don't want to miss that show either. Well,
So I'm working next. Angee, I got to work next Sunday.
Heck yeah.
Well, hey, Nolan, hey, Nolan, you in the right place working, man. You out on the beach with the palm trees, and
I
gotta
be
there too.
I'd rather be in the water getting some sun and having that little cocktail with the umbrella in it. But I gotta, do the show. So, but again, I'm gonna change my venue next week. Maybe I'll be somewhere else next week.
Anyway, listen, you guys, I just want to wish once again all of our fathers a happy Father's Day. There are so many more awesome and amazing fathers out there than we even know. I hope and pray that I have displayed 3 to you, Level Up Nation, and 2 amazing future fathers in our society with Carlos and Eric. Well, listen, you guys, we are going to take off in our next break right here, which is really not our break. Mr. Scribe, go ahead and cue up our next break that we did skip around, so get that ready to end our show. Like I said, we will be back here next week, same time, same place, 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central, 12 p.m. Pacific. We will see you guys next week. Love you, mean it. Take care.
I want my Father's Day seafood.
Every day seems I'm calling, seems I'm reaching for some now and then I feel I'm talking, feel I'm speaking to myself. Is anyone determined anymore? Is anyone living for his glory's well? Is anyone determined anymore? Is anyone living for his glory's well? I'll be his light. Shine, 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 shine. I believe there's a purpose and a destiny. Oh, you can be what he puts in your heart. You can do it. Don't give up. No. Is anyone listening to him? Can
and I have to let the man know is we are peaceful people. We are loving people. We love everybody who loves us. But we don't love anybody who doesn't love us. We're nonviolent with people who are nonviolent with us. But we are not nonviolent with anyone who is violent with us.
History, life in quarantine, nowhere to hide, it's worldwide. We can agree to disagree, but it don't matter now. This is life. We can chill face to face and debate what is fact and what has been a lie. We can pull every card and go hard with the truth, yet be brutalized. When it's all said and done, what we have and what we won't bring back alive. All we really need to do is hang on and speak life.
To bring about the complete independence of people of African descent here in the Western Hemisphere, and first here in the United States, and bring about the freedom of these people by any means necessary.
In every way, let the people see, let them see, and make sure you know you're right. Oh, when you speak, don't believe, no, this is your defeat. Don't incriminate your mind. Oh, be free. Let us join hand in hand as we stand and demand our equality. Let them know how you feel, 'cause you wanna walk across the street stress-free without that hang. When it's all said and done, what we have and what we won't bring back alive. All we really need to do is stand strong and speak life. It's your life. Come on. Will you fight? It's time. Yeah.
But when someone attacks you, when someone comes at you with a club, when someone comes at you with a rope, when someone comes at you with a gun, despite the fact that you've done nothing, he tells you, suffer peacefully. Pray for those who use you despitefully. Be long-suffering. And how long can you suffer after suffering for 400 years?
Hi, this is Terry Cummings, formerly of the NBA, retired after 18 years, 18 seasons in the league. Just been chilling, working hard, though I think you work harder when you retire, but nevertheless running companies, pastoring 14 years, CEO over a hybrid of a television station of cable and streaming, and finally pushing toward the bid for the Hall of Fame. Level up and join us.
Hi, I just finished the Sizzling Sundays, WTNT. This is Kia Carr, and I have a new album out called Life, Love, and Hope, and you can get it on www.kiacarr.com. That's KIAKERR.com. Again, I just finished Sizzling Sundays, and my name is Kia Carr. New artist out, Life, Love, and Hope, new album, KiaCarr.com, KIAKERR. Thank you so much. God bless.
Have you ever felt like no matter how hard you tried, things just still go wrong?
Many times.
What do you do?
I let go and let God.
All I'm asking from you is to bump up our credit limit to where it was.
It's declined.
We're experiencing some financial hardships at the moment.
You have 6 days to make payment.
I can't believe this is happening.
You know, I never asked you to pray with me.
It's you and me. We got this. God wants to help you, Peter.
Excuse me?
But you're not letting him in.
I did once. Last time we spoke, you took a man away from me I loved dearly. From that day, I swore to take matters into my own hands. But now I don't know what to do.
I know that you don't believe, but I will pray for you.
I love you so much.
Capimo.
It was a miracle. You believe in miracles?
Listen, if you need me, you call me.
All of the angels in heaven are rejoicing. You gotta know that everything is gonna be okay.
God hates divorce, but unfortunately, some of us have gone through this traumatic experience. I'm Dr. Renee Andrews, and I'm here to offer you some solutions if you have gone through a divorce, a painful breakup, or having any relationship issues. Please get a copy of my book today, God Has a Plan for You, Life After Divorce, at godhasaplanforyou.org. Thank you.
Have you been sluggish, bloated, overweight? You could be toxic from your environment, food, and medications. It's time for a clean start. Come by or book online today.
Hi, this is Terry Cummings, 18-year veteran of the NBA. Keep it locked right here as we level up, giving a voice to the unvoiced with real talk that takes you higher. Ordinary people with extraordinary stories.
Hey, this is Gina A. Towns on Real Talk that takes you higher. Level up. Ordinary people with extraordinary stories.
Hi, this is George Vincent.
And Rick Irvin.
And we are the Heavenly Deposit Team, and
we need you to level up.
Hey, this is your girl, Joanna Hill McGill, Walmart's first Next Gospel Superstar winner. I need you to level up.